I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time. I'm a person who will spike the conversation, who will get politics rolling and stimulate new questions and new answers to our current political dilemma facing our nation. I believe I have a keen understanding of the economy and how to improve where we're at relative to other nations around the world. I believe that our goal at America's Third Party was to create a very strong platform in which would propel the American people forward with new opportunities and a new possibility of creating a better nation, a cleaner environment, and less war. I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to America's Third Party and our show. Today is Wasteful Wednesday. I'm David Sponheim, and we are moving forward into the realm of waste. If you probably don't know, our government literally runs on borrowed money. The money you're paying in your taxes goes to the interest on our debt. That's a sad state of affairs. If I were to live that way, I couldn't do the show. I would be hounded by creditors, and I couldn't have any peace of mind unless I worked, 24/7 to meet my minimum payments on my credit card. I can't live that way. I believe in solvency, and I believe this country has to achieve solvency, and we cannot do it under the current regime, which is spending rapidly, recklessly. The director of the EPA is throwing money into a private phone booth, $43,000 for his little cone of silence. I mean, it's ridiculous. $1 million to redo his front room. I mean, Trump isn't setting any precedent here. So by borrowing money, we're going deeper and deeper into debt. We're careening into a crash course with destiny. Yes, you ask me. We've got the 5G network being rolled out. I know installers that don't even know what it is. Why are they putting a 5G network when the 4G network is going to have fantastic speeds? Internet connections will be super fast. And Ajit Pai, the FCC director, this former Indian man, I guess he's an American now, he truly believes that the internet is going too fast. We have to slow it down. He wants to monetize it. Yet they wanted a faster network. It's just, we're already super fast, and he wants to slow it down. It doesn't make any sense. Who do we owe most of the money to? Well, the primary debtors would be Belgium, the City of London, first and foremost, China, Japan, not necessarily in that order. all make up our $21 trillion debt, which, like I said, the interest alone is equal to our GDP income from your taxes. So we're not even in any way getting ahead of this, too. In fact, we're going deeper and deeper into debt. So every state is nearly bankrupt. Some states are doing better than others, like North Dakota, because they handle their money better. They're more fiscally conservative. But states like New York and California, Florida, these states are spending $50 to $100 billion more than they should per year. That's huge. And it never ends. In my state, which is a very spendy Democratic tax and spend state, they're taking tax dollars and dumping it into a roundabout, which is tying up traffic from here to a major area 30 miles away. Not just one roundabout, two, probably totaling $30 or $40 million. Why do we need a roundabout? We don't. There's no proof that they actually help with traffic flow. We could easily have solutions that would be much more cost effective, but these people don't think that way. They just say, well, I'm going to find a contractor and they're going to bid on it and then they're going to get the job and it's going to cost the taxpayer. Like I said, we're just paying the interest on the debt. Here's an old shipping container converted into a chic coffee shop in Johannesburg. Because we've looked at we've looked at shipping containers in a big way earlier in our pre-show. And shipping containers have a lot of potential. I want to use them to build the border wall. I think it'd be fantastic to have a border wall that's comprised of shipping containers. So this little place right here is a kiosk kind of thing. That's really cool. It's a chic coffee shop in Johannesburg. Think of how many kiosks could be built like this. That's pretty amazing. So just drop them in and you got yourself what you need very easily, very portable. Nice. Well, definitely consider the idea of a container wall here in the background. While that opens up separately. Can you make it larger to see? No, I can't. You really want me to look at that? Okay. Let's make it larger to see. No, I don't think they would be. Say for instance we had a coffee shop like this, constructed in a way that would be aligned with the wall, and we just fit it right in the little category right in there, you know. Like here could be a liquor store. We could have vendors selling to the illegal aliens wanting to come into our country. And the other side of those containers would be heavily reinforced with steel rebar concrete with sensors. So they couldn't break through it had they, put a business there. We would still own the other side of the wall. It still would be on U.S. territory. It's going to be on the U.S. side. Yeah, that's the whole point. But people who are breaking into our country, they might want to actually, get some food and water to drink. It's not like the Border Patrol right now. They kick over all the bottles, all the gallons of water that people put out for the people that are dying as they're coming into our country. So we actually could profit from our border wall. A smoothie bar, yeah. I mean, Misanthropy said we could sell apartments. There's all kinds of potential with these containers. They're not two-dimensional objects. They're three-dimensional. And they have all these portable uses. And I believe that they could be, a big part of applying to our mobile medical units and our mobile service units, which we want to make available for people. Yeah, this is America, the new brand of America that we're re-engineering here. Sudden departure of White House Global Health Security head has experts worried. This is kind of strange. Thanks for that link. Sudden departure. This is strange. White House Global Health Security. Rear Admiral Tim Ziemer, the head of Global Health Security, the White House National Security Council, left the Trump administration on Tuesday. The news was announced one day after an Ebola outbreak was declared in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Again, Ebola. Reshuffling under the NSC's newly named National Security Advisor, John Bolton, and he doesn't want to be working for John Bolton, apparently. It eliminates the office Ziemer led Zimmer's staff had been placed under other NSC departments, so Zimmer, who had been described as one of the most quietly effective leaders in public health, was widely lauded in the global health community for his work on the president's malaria initiative, which helped save 6 million lives before joining his administration. So, does he know something we don't know about Ebola in the Congo? I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that we have to worry about Ebola yet, but if there was an outbreak, we would consider all options. Yes. Why are people considered aliens and illegal for crossing a line? It's really a terrible indictment of humanity that some people are considered aliens. Chef Gordon Ramsay, wow, you grew a conscience and you care. That's so nice. So you want your country of England to be ramrodded by illegal hordes of masses of people? Well, why don't you work on that in England? Yeah, he seems like an invader here. Trump didn't do the North Korean release of prisoners psychobehavior. That was done by Kim Jong-un. Trump had nothing to do with it. That's why Kim Jong-un took the thunder out of Trump's statement that he'll think about it. Trump was equivocating, didn't know whether he would decide one or the other way. He didn't know, and it wasn't his decision to make. It was Kim Jong-un's. The Earth movement in Hawaii is indicative of what may very well be a weather change of massive proportion. I am a little concerned that there is a weather pattern that actually, if you go to weather.com, which I'd like to go to right now, there was reference to the Arctic breaking up. Some people are saying that there's a magnetosphere change that is undergoing with the chemicals that are being dumped in the sky. It's changing the magnetosphere, which is altering the magnetic heavy metal structure of the core of our Earth. We know that Kilauea is still up to a big eruption. It's still literally, we played this earlier in our pre-show. It's a molten mass of burning lava. Here it is. Boiling lava lake in the crater of erupting Kilauea volcano. This is from up above. All right. Yeah, you get the picture. We've done a lot. All right, there was something here earlier. Let's see if I can find it. Arctic. Something abnormal is happening in the Arctic area. Temperatures soar 35 degrees above normal.
Again, if it feels like this story is published practically every week, it's because it is. Huge spikes in extreme, even record heat are becoming more and more frequent in the Arctic, and this week was no exception. The Arctic has been hovering near 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That's like the freezing mark, a full 30 to 35 degrees above average for this time of year.
Okay, 30 to 40 degrees above average in the Arctic region. What happens when the upper waters cooled or warm down? The gases that linger at the bottom of the ocean bubble up. And there's methylene at the bottom of the ocean, which is methane, compressed form, and it will bubble up. So we've got that happening. We've got the core of the Earth blowing out through volcanic eruptions, sulfur dioxides pouring over, creating acid rain above Hawaii. So if you're a farmer within the air draft of the volcano, you're in danger. Yeah, it's like a mild battery acid that's draining down on the land. Bolton pushing to eliminate White House cyber job. You know, this really upsets me because, ironically, Donald Trump fired the top cybersecurity experts that we had just a couple months into his presidency, and now Bolton is doing even worse. I don't know if you remember, but Trump was talking about getting Russia to do our cybersecurity work on contract early on before the Russian investigation started. It was crazy. He actually was saying that he should have cybersecurity done by Russia. This is when, Michael Flynn was installed as the national security advisor. But now Bolton is trying to eliminate a White House cyber job. The move could send the message the U.S. is taking the gas pedal off cybersecurity, on one former NSC official said. Yeah. Amazing, isn't it? So Trump is making big, bad decisions with a guy who's kind of like dinosaur, who started the Iraq and Afghanistan war, John Bolton. He was one of the key guys. Why would Bolton have been hired to turn his gaze on? No, hardly. Bolton is not here to intercept us. The Russians are doing that. They're paying Mark. Yeah. Bolton has nothing to do with us, our show. The Russians that pay Mark have a lot to do with our show. They're inhibiting us and preventing us from growing in America. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I'm in a quandary what I should make. I would like to make something big with potatoes and eggs, but Sarah won't let me cook with eggs. So I think I should go small and make something really like a sardine salad or something. Something stupid, ridiculous. I don't know. I was thinking of frying up sardines with some pasta shells. Have you ever tried that? I've never tried it. I hear it does weird things to scallop potatoes. Sardines just wouldn't go well with potatoes. Sardine salad, yeah. I'm not sure what I'm going to make. I really am kind of at a crossroads here. I'm not allowed to cook with eggs because Sarah doesn't like eggs. So. Even though it's the most cost-efficient food out there for protein. Tuna, I made that last week. Yeah, I'm tired of the tuna pastas. Yeah, so if I was given a basket of food, sardines, pasta shells, like farfalle, bow tie pasta, sardines, peppers, mushrooms, I bet that would make a nice little stir fry. Sarah does not like eggs. Yeah, it really inhibits my entire approach to cooking. I used to make a lot of egg dishes, and she says, I hate this. I don't like it. It's gross. She doesn't like the sliminess of it. And I don't blame her, really. I mean, I was thinking quiche, but that uses eggs, So it's limiting. I definitely don't see much freezer burn when I get my shrimp. I've been getting shrimp for $3.99 a pound, which is amazing. $2.99 to $3.99 a pound. If you look for a really good deal for like 51 count shrimp, that's a pretty good deal. Israeli army confirms ongoing attacks against Iranian targets as missiles hit near Damascus. I consider this an ongoing war, kind of like Henry Kissinger said. It will be a low-intensity conflict for many, many decades to come. I don't really think that we're going to be seeing a big flare-up between Israel and Iran. I think this is just scrimmages that they're going to be engaged in. Kind of like us attacking Syria for no reason and telegraphing where our missiles are firing from and what kind of missiles we have. Which I think Putin really likes the fact that Trump did that. Putin probably called him on the phone and said, Mr. President, I show PP tape if you do not do as I say. I want you to attack Syria. Do so that no Russians will be affected. And this will give Russia a big excuse for extreme consequences to America, and we are using you, Donald, to make this happen. Yeah. They've convinced Donald to do whatever they tell him, because if they release the PP tape, God, it'll be just embarrassing. What will his daughter think? He lives in that world. That's the world he lives in. He loves Ivanka very much. He doesn't want her to think that anything like that ever happened. So he's got her thinking that he would never do that, even though 12 women are alleging that he had sexual misconduct with him. But now, right out of the blue, Stormy Daniels is reversing her statement. This is too weird. Reversing her statement. There it is. Yeah, there she is. Stormy Daniels arrives hours before the scheduled appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Wait a second. You brought me an old link, dude. He actually pulled it off, too. He tried a January 31st link of Stormy Daniels. Nice try. She's still on track saying she's suing. Yeah, that's not going away anytime soon. She's definitely suing. I haven't heard about the 4chan Stormy Daniels thing. Tell me about it. That's news to me. Yeah, Ivanka could break up with Trump. He's panicking. He would date his daughter if she wasn't his daughter. Yeah, I haven't heard anything regarding 4chan. You'll have to tell me about it. So Meow TV is trying to convince me that Stormy Daniels was reneging on her statement. No, she's still going forward. She even has semen on the dress that he ejaculated on. That's what she said. She has a smoking dress, if you will. Yeah. So they just have to have a DNA test done and matched up with Donald Trump. Northwoods was a false flag plan. Yeah, I do watch the after show. The Northwoods plan is actually all the false flaggery that's been going on in our country. False flaggery is kind of the start was Northwoods, Operation Northwoods. They were attempting to create an event where Cuba attacked us. We blamed Cuba, and that would give us justification for attacking Cuba. No different than creating Syrian gas attacks and then justifying stupid missile hits on education centers without any verification that a gas attack occurred. It's all BS. And I'll tell you something. If the CIA did not sign off on the recent strike against Syria, if they were going, well, okay, I guess if you really want to say so, if there are chemical weapons there, if that was something other than the CIA, they got something to worry about. I would automatically assume that Putin was behind it, that Putin made a call to Trump to make this stupid thing happen. It telegraphed our position. It showed them that their defenses are capable of stopping our incoming Tomahawks. It tested their jamming radar against our drones. It was like testing conventional war in Syria. Why would we even do that? What a stupid move. Makes no sense. Ivanka loves her dad, and she's upset that anybody says bad things about him. According to 4chan, Stormy Daniels has an NX IBM brand. Well, that's interesting. Okay, let's take a look at the story. Thanks for bringing it to me. Nixibium is this group of people connected to Smallville and that actress and the cult member, alleged cult member, a guy who's leading a bunch of women around. And just 5 hours after this was made, we were immediately aware she went on defense. Yet she has proof she's lying on her Instagram. Zoom in on her hip. Okay. Stormy Daniels. Looking at her hip. Is there an Exhibium brand there? I can't tell. There's some sort of a tattoo there. Yeah. And why am I looking at Stormy Daniels' hip? Look at the first two images on the Reddit page. Hold on, please. Close up of the image. Okay, here it is. Let's take a look. Now, is that the branding that Nixibium used? Wow. Okay. Okay, and then we go to compare to the cult brand. Whoa, you're right. There's the cult brand. Wow. Yeah, so she's a cult member of this weird society. A former Smallville actress is second in command of a sex cult under investigation for extorting, beating, and branding its members, including Catherine Oxenberg's daughter. Wow, this goes deep. If Stormy's involved, she should make a statement. She could collect money. Yeah. Claiming she was a victim of that too. So Donald dating his daughter is fine if she wants to date him. That's the reality of this messed up situation. So you'd be okay if Donald, even though he's married and had numerous affairs, would be dating his daughter? Is that something you're okay with? Well, once the PP tape is out, all bets are off. Anything's possible. Openly incestual relationships, I don't think America's ready for that. I think that the people in the Christian right that still believe that Trump is somehow helping them, even though he's not, and somehow is going to stop taking their gun rights away, which he's not. Somehow these people are still riding along with this womanizing man who engages allegedly in sex play with every woman he gets near. Just grab them by the beep, beep, beep. And he even denied saying that. Billy Bush said, I got 8 witnesses in an audio recording. It wasn't made up. If you're getting uncomfortable with the word PP, we will make it to QQ. Mind your P's and Q's. No, this is the Pierre Balmain from Paris. I got it for a song. I went into a thrift store and picked up this amazing suit. It's a $1,000 suit. I got it for 50 cents. Cyber Jedi. It was a deal. I was like, yeah, there's a 50-cent rack there, sir. I said, is everything there on the rack? Yeah. It was just sitting there against the side. Nobody saw it. It's like, okay, I'll take it. 50 cents. Great acquisition. I mean, I don't plan on selling it, you know. Just like to have good things, nice threads for very little. You get better clothing now at thrift stores compared to the stores because most of the stores are featuring polyester and rayon. No, everything smells fresh at this thrift store. They don't take anything that smells. Hello, how is it going? I am doing well, thank you. How are you? 16 prefab shipping container home companies in the United States. Already, we've got shipping container homes sparking up all over. We're destined for shipping container homes all over America. Look at this. So the shipping container fence idea is doable. It actually has great potential to prevent people from coming into the U.S. We anticipate the cost is $1 billion. Oh, I'm sorry. Stop talking. Let's see if I can get the angle of the. Yeah, I call it a container fence because it's really. I'll change the name to a wall just because Trump stole the idea of the fence. There we go. All right. So 16 prefabricated shipping container home companies in the U.S. Look at that. Wow. Isn't it amazing? Quick builds. Oh, even better. Oh, love it. Love it. Go. You go, girl. Look at that. Would you just look at that truth box? Wow. High tech. Industrial. Low tech. Very nice. You wouldn't even tell that's a shipping container home, would you? Nice. Very 50s. Frank Lloyd Wright. Very kind of like, rusted. Yeah, Newark. You get this SG Blocks, New York. Yeah, that's a very interesting. Wow, look at this. Fantastic. Isn't it amazing? Okay, I've seen enough. Thank you very much. That's fun. It looks like a mobile home. Who cares? It's a home. Deal with it. Now, you need to buy land in order to build your home, your tiny home. Some of you want to build tiny homes. I don't blame you. We showed you a company that makes a tiny home you can get for $134 a month. It's $16,000. This tiny home. And you can put this anywhere on any lot, but they really need you to have land before they give you a deal. You have to have land, otherwise they won't sign a contract with you. That's what somebody told me. All right. And there was some big wins in the midterm election. One of the Trump's accusers, Rachel Crooks, secures a Democratic nomination for Ohio State, the House of Representatives. So as we head toward the primaries of the midterm elections, this woman who was actually, Trump slapped a really big, moist kiss on her. Totally caught her by surprise, she said. Very, very awkward feeling. He just turned around and kissed her on the mouth. Mr. Drumpf, your newest nightmare is a website called Resistance Hole. Let's take a look at that. No time to waste. Get right into the news here. You got more luxury container houses we can look at tonight? Thank you, Misanthropy. Great. 10 minutes. One house. We'll play that tonight in our show. And I have a tiny house section if you look it up on my playlist. I'll put it in that too. Okay. Luxury containers. Mr. Drumpf. Resistance Hole. Hey, Drumpf, a.k.a. President Donald Trump. Don't get too cozy in the White House because there's a new website that wants to kill you? Whoa. That's terrible. That's just wrong. Yeah, I cannot possibly, give you any airtime to something that wants to kill the president. I'm sorry. That's horrible. Wow. Yeah, I can't even give it airtime. That's horrible. Whew. Now a brief moment of music, because that is not something I would ever support. That's a horrible thing. He may be a bad guy because of the business associates he has and his greed, but we don't need to use aggression and violence against something like this. We just need justice.
Oh yeah, said it all with a smile, the way you offer your head. We could have been talking Kierkegaard, Galileo's daughter, man on Mars, but I never even where you came in on as though you read my mind, as if I'd said it to you right out loud.
Okay, yeah, I just didn't want to. I couldn't believe that. It's like, yeah, anyone coming up with a plan to hurt the president is just really messed up. I don't care how much anger you have in this world, you cannot do that. That's a 25-year prison sentence. You know, I really don't know what's on the menu. Sardines, pasta, pepper. I'm going to make a sardine pasta pepper dish. Yes, thank you. Sardines, pasta, pepper. 7 meals for $3. $4. Yeah, okay. Avenatti accuses the wrong Michael Cohen of making fraudulent payments. Really? So he's making errors now in his lust and zeal for justice for Stormy? No. What a pain in the ass. Just to open up a website, you got all these disclaimer. Okay, he's making got the wrong Michael Cohen's of making fraudulent payments. Her attorney, Stormy Daniels' attorney, Michael Avenatti, released a 7-page dossier on Trump containing a list of payments purportedly made to Michael Cohen. But there's one problem with the document. 2 of the allegedly fraudulent payments were made to men named Michael Cohen who have no affiliation with Trump. His report includes a section listed possible fraudulent and illegal financial transactions. A wire transfer from a Malaysian company back to Toronto. A Kenyan bank to Bank Hapoalim. Oh, wow. You surely are aware of the fact that it's an extremely common name and would request that you take care before involving innocent parties in this sort of affair, wrote Cohen, who told Avenatti he is an international consultant who was paid by actuarial partners for work on a project in Tanzania. Okay, well, this doesn't in any way discredit the fact that there are solid proof now of the payments being made to Michael Cohen from corporations like AT&T and Novatech. Okay, we have a meeting place. Trump is going to meet Kim Jong-un. It will be a third-party place, which is probably a good thing. He's not meeting him in Pyongyang. That's a good thing. Trump to meet with Kim Jong-un in Singapore. Yep. And Trump's personal approach to policy on display ahead of the North Korean summit. I would like Trump to at least ask him to reduce his nuclear arms by a certain number before even meeting. I don't understand why he's even meeting except to shake hands, and I guess he wants to shake the hands of a mass murderer, so I guess that's going to be a fun thing for him. I'm just glad he's doing it, because I wouldn't meet the guy. I wouldn't shake his hand. Good job. I don't know, but if he's gonna have a meeting, I just hope it's safe for him. No, Trump didn't get the hostages back from North Korea. No, I can't give him credit. That's Kim Jong-un's doing. Nothing to do with Trump at all. And the work of Moon Jae-in made to allow North Korea to participate in the Olympics was really a precedent that Trump didn't have anything to do with. So it's not Trump's doing. Trump is just riding on everybody's back. Don't give him that credit, please. Deal with the coming indictments. Let's focus on that. Well, I can imagine that attorney could make errors. They've been known to make errors. Yeah, but I can tell you if this is a landmark deal, it's going to have to come with nuclear arms reductions. And so far, Kim Jong-un has not made any overtures to that effect whatsoever. So the $1 billion container wall idea is doable, and I will promise you the building of that container wall. And this is an example of what a container wall could look like, with even shops in it, facing the Mexican side here in America. Yeah, we could actually help people, get by as they're waiting to get properly moved into our country using our legal process called immigration, naturalization. The idea of naturalizing somebody in the fast-track naturalization program that I'm pitching is a very solid plan for people to become a U.S. citizen without the huge barriers that they have right now, with 5 years having a green card, $25,000 on an interest-bearing account on average. I think a straight fee would be appropriate. I can't give him any credit. This isn't his doing, man. This is all on Kim Jong-un. Whatever Kim Jong-un is cooking up, if he doesn't offer any nuclear arms reduction, it could backfire on Trump. Like I said, without getting this on the table ahead of the meeting in Singapore, it's kind of going in blind. It's like flying blind. I don't consider it a good move until he actually gets these things up above board with North Korea. If they're going to meet, they should sign something, and it should be dedicated to something other than the release of some hostages, which Kim Jong-un just did because it's an overture of good faith. I think it was a smart move. I think Kim Jong-un is in charge of this entire meeting. Trump is just going along because he's desperate. You people. That's right. Bye. Take it easy. Thank you, Chef Gordon. Be well. Don't eat too much salt. You're at a high risk for a heart attack. He cooks with so much salt, it's ridiculous. Have you seen him? Jeez. It's unbelievable. I mean, look at this guy, Chef Ramsay. He's 7 years younger than me. He's 7 years younger than me. Look at this guy. I mean, tell me he's not running ragged. 7 years younger. Not amazing? Trump hasn't done anything to kick illegal immigrants out. You're just living in a delusion. He actually is going along with the UN resettlement plan. He hasn't in any way stopped it. Trump is allowing 1 million people to come in here a year right now. Yeah, that's Chef Ramsay, all right. You looking at me? Are you looking at me? My God, man! Pull yourself together! Piss off! Yeah, you're gonna have a heart attack, man. Be careful. I mean, I don't want anything bad to happen to you. You're a nice guy. I'm wearing a wig later. Is that enough? Thanks. McCain confirms he gave Trump dossier to Comey. Duty demanded I do it. Yeah, the dossier is 85 to 95% legit. So, yeah. John McCain, the Straight Talk Express, doing something good for America before he dies. God love him. We got a call from somebody. Hang on. Going to get the call right now. One moment, please. Oh no, we got a call from Jason again. Well, we don't take your calls, Jace. Jace. No, I got Jace.
We don't take your calls, Jason.
Hey, what did he do to his fellow POWs? Exactly, 814. Because John McCain was offered, his dad offered to get him out of the POW camp he was in. His father was very wealthy, and he offered to buy him out, and he said no. He stayed there as a POW. So what exactly did he do to his fellow POWs? They said he may have broken under pressure. He traitored his fellow POWs? Exactly what specifically?
Jason.
Exactly what specifically did you glean from that? Oh, he spied against his fellow POWs. Okay. Yeah, under torture, let me ask you, if you had bamboo shoots going into your fingernails, would you turn on your fellow POWs? He worked for Vietnam, yes. Well, tell me, why did he stay there when he could have left? To turn on his POWs, his friends? Because his father did offer to buy him out. They were making cash offerings to North Vietnam during that time period. But hey, if you have specific information from other POWs, I'd like to see the transcript. All right, you can piss on him all you want. It's a free country. He's not dead yet. Everybody wants to, get a guy when he's down, man. John McCain, Straight Talk Express. The $1 billion container wall idea is living and very, very useful because it's not going to be wasteful. Wasteful and useful are opposite words, I think. Antonyms. Jason doesn't have a conversation going with anybody. He never did have a conversation. Misanthropy says I have to keep refreshing the page because your video is freezing. Let me check my speed. Hang on. I'm only pumping out at 400 BPS, bits per second. I'm keeping it down because my Ustream show is at 350. And my iBlog show is running at 300. Everything's kind of parsed off on my... I have 10 megabytes per second upload, but it's still better to switch it. If you're having problems with this feed, you can go to Ustream and see our show there. Let me get you the link to that. Ustream.tv. I'll put it on the screen for you. You can run pop-out chat here, Misanthropy, and go to this place just for the video signal. You can still chat in your pop-out chat. That's one option. Ustream.tv/channel/America's Third Party. Okie dokie. Thank you. Yeah. Hi. Swag is here. He's always in the show. Well, I think it's exciting that Trump is going to meet Kim Jong-un. I really do. I wish him all the best in terms of negotiating some sort of a real serious weapons reduction plan. But so far, nothing is on the table. No assurances from anyone other than President Xi Jinping of China, who says that they are going to denuclearize. Well, since they are responsible for giving the North Koreans plutonium nukes I would say that they should denuclearize, and it would be only fitting. And we should offer to not have a border scrimmage with South Korea. Let South Korea do whatever they're going to do at the border. Whatever Moon Jae-in wants to do for his country at the border to smooth things over, that's on him. Well, you're really making some big steps there, Rancid Shrimp Chef. Good for you. Cutting back on stealing money from your mom's purse to buy meth. That's really amazing. David, can we go over a list of your meds to make sure they're all compatible? I don't have any meds. I don't take drugs. Hey, I was working on an idea to get this mic elevated because I know a lot of you are tired of the mic noise from the table. I have a plan. It's going to be relatively difficult to implement. I have to build a crossbar over the table. But I do have a plan. I don't really have a boom mic setup. I can't really connect it to the ceiling. But I do have a plan. We'll see if it works. Novartis and AT&T spoke to Mueller's office about payments to Michael Cohen. So we know now that Michael Cohen was trading pay for play, they call it, which is not the work of a personal attorney. So somehow Donald Trump chose to have his long-standing personal attorney work with him side by side, and unbeknownst to him, or maybe he did know, Michael Cohen was receiving payments for influence in the White House, which is grossly illegal. And there are laws against this type of behavior, and Trump is now complicit in that for having picked Michael Cohen as his personal attorney and having put him in the White House. A big mic arm? What do you mean? I've got a big mic arm. I've got a complete armature here for this microphone. It's already there. It's already connected to something. It's a complete setup here. See this? Yeah, it's perfectly. All I need to do is get something to connect to it, and I've got a file cabinet that I could connect to if I opened a drawer, and I could possibly get it to hook up there if I open the drawer. I'll try to do that. That's probably the easiest way. Yeah, but it has to sit a certain way. It's difficult. If I put it on another table next to it, I'd have to construct some sort of a crossbar. So I might do that too, an independent table. That might work as well. If I put a large platform on that table and then put the monitor on it, I could clip onto that platform. That would work. Soros, Alex Soros at a spirit cooking event, pick inside. Check this out. The young Alex Soros, by the way, is quite the jet setter. His son, George Soros' son, Alex, hangs out in the Hamptons. Big Long Island hangout for spendy people who have lots of money. He's at a spirit cooking event in this picture. Look at the body in the background. Isn't that freaky? This is what these people do for fun. Oh, honey, Dad wants me to go and do the spirit cooking event, and I thought that it would really help with our... We could drink a little of the blood fecal matter and it'd be great. Really interesting. God, that is weird, man. These people are so strange. What are they into and why? Yeah, she was pretty, but I hope she wasn't drinking any of that spirit blood. That stuff is, I mean, how could anyone drink feces and urine and semen? How's that work in blood? I don't understand. How could anyone do that? It's so sick. What's wrong with these people? Well, therein lies the problem. I mean, you've got Eric Soros. Jeez. Alex Soros, sorry. Okay, you want Larry Sinclair on tap, really? Is that necessary? Well, don't spam. I'm getting tired of the spamming. I'm going to purge you because you're spamming. People are stupid. That's what Jim Morrison should have written, you know, when he called all those people in that audience stupid. Remember? Instead of calling people are strange, people are stupid when you are stupid. Okay, we did see Barack Obama, or his wife Michael, in a beautiful dance episode with Ellen DeGeneres. Originally.
You're doing something new with at the White House for the Easter egg roll, right?
Yeah, well, in honor of the 5th anniversary, I've issued this challenge. We're calling it Gimme 5, and we're using the hashtag Gimme 5 on social media, and we're asking folks all across the country to give me 5.
You see, yeah, it was that hip thrust. You just like,
Is it gonna stay? Because there is some hip thrusting.
yeah.
So there's a lot of it. So.
All right. Hey, if my mic falls, I may stop it. All right, let's try it again.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman president?
We already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
All right, that's pretty much the money shot right there. I am not a robot. That is ridiculous. It is a monetized video. I played less than 27 seconds of it, though, or 24 seconds of it. You can see that this is definitely a penis. There's your money shot right there, folks. You're looking at it. Bingo, bingo. That's right. Yeah, I don't play it when I need a bathroom break. No, I don't even like looking at transgenders. It's not my thing. But maybe you're into it. But yeah, Michelle Obama veritably could be Michael Obama. Oh, you have to leave your name when you call. Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, there is a very interesting look at one of Michelle Obama's passports. Some people think it's fake, though. And this Gizmodo says it looks fake as hell, but apparently it's got some issues. It refers to it being for a transgender in one of the issues. I don't know. Many people are beginning to wonder how accurate that was. The shills call it an air pocket, I know. Or a mic battery or something. Oh, and here the Russian oligarch who's the Russian oligarch who allegedly paid Michael Cohen is linked to Clinton Foundation and John Podesta too. Wow. See what I mean about the two parties being controlled by Russia? That's why Trump doesn't want to prosecute Hillary, because it would expose her Russian connections too. Yeah. The attorney of Stormy Daniels alleged on Tuesday that Russian oligarch paid Trump attorney Michael Cohen $500,000 for insights into the Trump administration.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This draws a direct connection between these people, these Russian oligarchs, and the reimbursement of $130,000 to Stormy Daniels to make the story go away at a critical time in the election. Wow. Thank you. Big awakening thing. So the $1 billion container wall, now
Neither,
3 high.
Neither. It's a centrist group.
We're a centrist group, Emma. We're right in the center of the political spectrum. This is what we're proposing now. This is just an idea of a sustainable wall on the border with Mexico. Maybe even putting some fast food places in on their side in our country, you know.
Wait, what? You want to now make these fast food restaurants?
Well, the idea is if we have a container wall, if we reinforce the side facing the American side with concrete, you know, heavily reinforce that side, we could probably turn this into like an opportunity to rent some space out to some of the illegal aliens. They could have kiosks to sell, you know, charros, and they could actually rent space in the wall.
Okay.
facing the Mexican side on the U.S. border.
Oh, and then you could have other ones that were facing the U.S. side, that U.S. Restaurants.
If people want to have a U.S. side, we could have like a ecotourism and immigration tourism. People could visit the wall and stay in one of the containers.
No, Emma, this man is running for president.
I am.
I'm just Sarah.
We're trying to monetize and make a way of funding a container wall, which Trump never even thought of, and this idea is really much better than anything we could possibly come up with.
I like your
Hello?
whatever you did to create your container wall thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, here's what we're gonna do.
We're not going to take calls from you, Rodney. Sorry. When we found out that you were the
Yes.
godfather of Shrek's child, we got a little too weird for us.
What?
Yeah, and you hear Shrek had Rodney as his godfather.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Boy Scouts are losing 425,000 boys a week after announcing their name change. Yeah.
But they're still keeping BSA. Really? They don't want to have Boy Scouts
No,
because
no.
they don't want to be associated with women? What's the problem?
Well, girls want to get. Sarah's been working too much. She forgot that this is happening. Girls want to join the Boy Scouts, and now the Boy Scouts are dropping like flies. $250,000 a week announcing they're not going to be in the Boy Scouts. So 1 week after the century-old Boy Scouts of America announced it was changing its name, Boy Scouts lose 425,000 boys a week after announcing name change. Yeah. 1 week after the century-old Boy Scouts of America announced it was changing its name. This is very redundant.
Yeah.
Its mission to accept girls at all levels of scouting, its single biggest participant. Now it's Tuesday that it was cutting ties to the Scouts. And they're taking 1/5 of the Scouts membership with it. The Church of Jesus Christ, Latter-day Saints, usually known as the Mormons, are severing ties, its relationship with the Boy Scouts, effective December 31st. All right.
Now they can have the Mormon Scouts or the Mormon whatever.
The More Scouts, or the more Scouts.
The Mormon men.
The Morons. The
Yeah, I just gave them a name. Mormon men.
Mormon men. Young Mormon men.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, this sounds exciting. You know, I love the fact that Rex Tillerson
Why?
not only... Well, Rex Tillerson destroyed the Scouts because we all know that he wanted to allow gay Scouts in, and then he wanted gay Scoutmasters. Our former Secretary of State, who, by the way, lost his job because Trump didn't like him. But Rex Tillerson pretty much destroyed the Scouts back then, and now the Scouts really... I don't think it's safe for kids to go out in the wilderness and, get exposed to bears. So I think keeping the Cub Scouts is really the way to go. But
I agree
the
with
Boy
you,
Scouts, I don't know. Later. I was a Cub Scout. The Cub Scout uses this as their, badge of honor. This is not an Illuminati symbol. It's a Cub Scout symbol.
If you say so.
Well, I was a Weebelo.
Just kidding.
I'm very proud to be a Cub Scout. Okay,
Maybe
Sarah.
maybe that was the Weebelo signal.
I did not like the Boy Scouts. When we first got to the meetings, I was there. It was like transitioning from Weebelo to the Boy Scouts. It was going to be a big deal. And then all these Scoutmasters were using the F word and the S word. And it was just like...
Not setting a very good example.
My dad was an Eagle Scout, and I said, Dad, they're just using profanity all over the place.
People are always listening.
The Weebelos. The Weebelo Cub Scouts.
Isn't it W-E? Like Emma wrote?
Yeah. Weebelo.
Emma already wrote it.
Yes. Let me get you the correct pronunciation.
Oh, W-E-B-E-L-O.
Well, we're showing you Weebelo. W-E-B-E-L-O.
Thank you.
The Weebelo Scoutmasters situation was developed as a Scout badge. It is the highest level in the Scout ascension to Cub Scout stardom. Yeah, I think Cub Scouts are great, but Boy Scouts, yeah, who needs them? All right. The Order of the Arrow, yes. Okay, I guess Sarah's going to take over now that she's got stuff to talk about. The Europeans are still scrambling to save this deal with the Iran treaty. I think it's a mistake to save that deal because my official position was, well, Trump stole my idea, so it's Trump's idea now. But we shouldn't in any way allow the treaty to go on, but we should go against Trump on this one and make sure Iran doesn't have economic sanctions against it. Because look at how much that cost us. $155 billion. And they use that as an argument against us in the treaty. We had to pay them $155 billion in credit and cash. So by letting the waivers expire on the economic sanctions against Iran, Trump is really kind of pushing the envelope on another Cold War with Iran, which is not a good idea. So I'm against Trump on that. I think he needs to stop economic sanctions, reinstate the waiver, and then get back to the table and renegotiate some sort of a communication with Iran. But letting the ball drop and starting another war of words and hoping they're going to come to the table like North Korea did, I don't know. I don't know if this policy is actually effective. Until North Korea actually gets rid of nuclear weapons, we won't know if Donald Trump's method is actually working. All right. I'm going to change the background for all of you. And we'll remove the container wall. There we go. Okay, Sarah's going to come in and talk just for a bit. Thank you.
I think it's probably because I am a woman that I don't have a problem with women joining the Boy Scouts, and if the Mormons want to do something different, let them go ahead and do that, I would say. You think that's what the Scouts are, Misanthropy? I believe that is true. And North Korea, Emma. That's true. Yes. I mean, but Mr. Soft, do you think that maybe we're conditioned? I'll say that's a better word. Do you think I was never in any kind of scout group at all? I was not a scout, so maybe I shouldn't talk about that because I wasn't a scout. Anyway, do you think that we are conditioned to think that Iran is worse than North Korea because of the ties? Iran is a huge threat to Israel, so maybe we're conditioned with all the pro-Israeli thing, Israeli beliefs system that our country holds dear. Why misanthropy? I just think let people be people. Let them wear what they want to wear. Who cares how people are? No one's trying to emasculate anyone. Oh, that's pretty cool. Tsunami Rose. Oh, the problem is they aren't deciding for themselves. It's a trend. Parents are saying, "You're a tranny" to their children? What? Really? Because it's a cool thing to have a tranny for a kid? What? China does have a huge army, Emma. Part of it with their one-child policy, what happened was a lot of men were born in China. So because the whole, let's face it, they don't feel about women like you and I do. And so they have this huge military, and they can use that military to support who they choose to support. I am a little puzzled when I'm reading iVlog chat, but I try not to be. Yes, I agree. 1320. Let people be themselves under normal circumstances, of course. sometimes circumstances aren't very normal. Wait, in the UK, parents are encouraging their children to be gender neutral. I don't understand what's wrong with that. I mean, to say people are people, that's when you say gender neutral, I go to the just people. So then you get rid of the term gender and sex, and gender is a social construct. People are born as a certain sex, but the whole social construct is a social construct of gender. I wouldn't say a 6-year-old knows if they're... Well, I would say a 6-year-old should just be a 6-year-old and just play. They shouldn't be conditioned that boys don't do that. Girls don't do that. So I would say not... I would say kids should be kids. I agree with you, Misanthropy. You should not encourage people to mutilate their body. The dysmorphia, I agree with that. I don't encourage dysmorphia, but I don't encourage conditioning people to be a certain gender or to not be a certain gender. People should do what they want to do as long as it's not hurting them. If they're mutilating themselves, I think that is a problem. And the people that do mutilate themselves, I understand your point of view, Misanthropy. The people who mutilate themselves can end up having a high rate of suicide because they never accept themselves for who they are and how they were born. I guess for me, I don't automatically jump to transgender when I think of gender neutral. So for instance, when a kid is born, oftentimes people go with, oh, is it a boy or is it a girl? Let's do a blue room if it's a boy and a pink room if it's a girl. What about a green room and a yellow room? It doesn't matter if it's a girl or a boy. A child is a blessing. All right, Pencil says, I think we can all agree. Don't cut anything. Just accept your body the way you're born. And if people don't want to accept you, why are you trying to please other people? I do think when you change your body, you're trying to please other people. And I don't think it's to please yourself. I think it's trying to fit into some other person's perception of what you think people think you should be. And that I don't agree with. Actually, Emma, why can't they just have both? Yeah. Your brother played with your dolls, chose Barbie over Ken. It's just play. Play is play. I don't like that certain kids have to, they say certain kids have to play this like pink aisle and blue aisle for shopping or things like that. Well, the thing is, 682, how I believe with restrooms should be, we should all just have stalls. I don't believe in urinals. I really don't. I never have. I've never liked urinals. Well, you can call me names. It's not going to change my point of view. Yes, I agree, 447. It shouldn't be a cause to fight for the right for people to be people. We're just people. Accept it. Well, Mr. Soft, I just haven't seen many houses. Actually, I've never seen a house with a urinal. I never have. And I would think that men do what they need to do in a house. So thank you, 682. I know you don't agree with my position. That's okay. You know what? And you're right. I'm not a guy. I wasn't born with that equipment, so I don't know about that. Tony Baby Oil, you just want to be seen, and this is David's show, and he wants me to be seen. So why don't you start your own show so you can be seen? Wow, NYPD 1. If that's the true and mutilation is involved, I think that is sad. Hello, Winchell, aka Ronnie. Oh, sorry, Cyber Jedi. No, I'm not taking calls right now. I will restart the phone when David comes back. Yes, I do agree with you, Miss Anthropy. Just treat your kids equal. Let them do the things they enjoy without making up a bunch of new reasons and ways they need to be or not be. If you think all my positions are liberal and leftist, I don't know if David does not necessarily feel all the way that I feel on all of these issues. Yeah, yes, that's so true. 447. Good point again. Porta potties are gender non-specific. I don't think I'm alt left. No, I think there's left, there's right, and I think I'm centrist. I do think I'm centrist. That's true, 950. You can definitely purchase pro cams for us if you'd like. So is it a misadjustment to society, Ghost? You say a large portion of people have gone insane. Why do you think that is? Up is down, down is up. Is it a misadjustment to society? Sorry, Emma. I'm also casting at ivlog.tv/user/America's Third Party. And so there at that chat room, they allow guests and they assign guest numbers. So here, I'll show you. There you go. So over here, I can see the chat that I'm reading at iVlog, and then over here I have the chat where you're typing. And so anyway, I go back and forth. I look at both of them. Dr. Meow says, every time tribes start to question their gender, they vanish. Like the Native Americans, the Romans, the Greek, they became weak and they got exterminated. Or they just stopped having children. Maybe that's why. I mean, David could have a point with all the chemtrail things. And you know, I'm not a big chemtrail proponent, but David says, like, they're spraying things in the sky to make people not want to fornicate as often. Something like that. But, or not. Yeah, so maybe it's, and then if people don't engage in that just because they don't want to, then people start questioning their their gender and questioning their sexuality and questioning everything. Is something wrong with me? Oh, should I change myself? Oh, maybe I'd like this. And then it has a big problem. Yeah, I think that is one of David's theories, Dr. Meow.
What's that?
About chemtrails, or they're spraying things in the sky to keep people from wanting to...
Think?
No. I said fornicate.
Oh, well, I think it's worse than that. I think they're turning men into gay men with some sort of a weird pheromone.
See?
Yeah.
That's what David thinks.
It could even be genetically modified soybeans, which have esters in them.
682 says there's a very strong correlation between autism and transsexuality. I don't think society should normalize symptoms of mental illness.
That's interesting. Wow.
And it's a proven fact that suicide risk increases with transition. It doesn't decrease like they want us to believe.
Transgenders are 20 times higher likely to commit suicide.
Once they transition. I don't know if it's true before. Maybe they are depressed before they transition too. 132 doesn't support transgenders. He doesn't think that's normal unless you were born like that and you couldn't do anything about it. And Tsunami Rose says either way people are suffering. Yes, exactly, Dr. Meow. That's David's theory. Misanthropy says the people in control will never admit how broken the society they have created has become. Expect things like this to only get worse. Mr. Soft says, gotta love America, LOL. Alright. Oh, Emma says, Emma, that's what David said. I don't know of any group of people, but dentists have the highest rate of suicide over any group of doctors, but maybe it is any group of people. 447 says, I feel those in control or in charge are allowing things to become chaotic enough so people want more control to stop all the ridiculousness. I don't know if it's true or not, Misanthropy. Thank you, 495. I love the grammar issues. Thanks for helping with the spelling. Misanthropy says you can't fix the problem when you blame the side effects of the problem as being the root cause. So you could treat the side effects. What do you think is the root cause of the problem? And do you think it's really a problem?
So I went to myweather.com and it turned into weather.com. And they predicted the weather perfectly. We're getting rain just as predicted for today and tomorrow. And then sunny for 4 more days after that.
Oh, good.
MyWeather.com was exquisite in predicting exactly the kind of weather they're creating.
We're going to be have
sunny
rain tomorrow?
Rain tomorrow and then sunny Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, yay. Finally a weekend of sunshine.
Yeah, it's amazing how they're able to create this weather. Yeah, they're doing a good job of weather modification, I'll tell you. Boy, they really know how to evaporate California and turn it into a desert.
Tsunami Rose says they're moving us toward giving up our rights slowly, like people saying, why not give the cop your identification if you're not doing anything wrong? Yeah. Alright, Emma's theory is something is affecting the testosterone and estrogen levels in people and causing gender confusion. I think you have the same theory as David. I think I'm just a person and I don't need to have gender confusion. I might have my estrogen levels different than how they were before, but you're gender neutral. Wait, so Walgreens, you know you're both genders? Or what about being neither gender? Does it even matter? You're just a human. All right. Dr. Meow, the real explanation, maybe, anyway, behind the gender neutral thing is that the need for people to be part of something. When they're really people who fail at everything and don't belong anywhere, so they create their own thing. They blame all their problems on other people rather than accepting responsibility for who they are. Not currently Walgreens, but I have in the past had people that identify differently, and it's just, I mean, it's just the bathroom issue, and we have bathrooms that are for both genders. So I love the bathrooms where you can go in and you lock the door behind you. You don't have to worry about these stall things. And anyway, yep, Emma, make sure you bookmark our show, though. Bookmark this page. Tell your friends. We're live every night except for Sunday. I guess so, Eric. Okay, 447 says, I agree, but if you haven't done anything, why should you be hassled without probable cause? That's true. 682, it's the chemtrails in plastic. Not chemtrails. It's the chemicals in plastic. Canada made a documentary called The Disappearing Male. They didn't play it because feminists got mad, but you can find it online. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, we have some bathrooms that are for both students, and that's where the students go. And other than that, I treat all students the same, regardless of their gender. Yeah, and I would say if I have a boy wearing a dress in my class, that's what makes it a social construct. Who cares what people wear? I don't like the whole, oh, you can't wear a dress because you're a boy. You can't wear this because you're this. Who cares? People can wear what they want. I'm absolutely prepared for that. And that's exactly what I would say too. I would say, does it matter what people wear? I would say, now there are some rules. If there's one strap, you need to have, your straps need to be 3 finger lengths wide, and your things to cover your legs, whatever's covering your legs, should be long. If you stand up straight, they should be longer than fingertips. Well, I think you're judging me, Legatus, and I'm just, who cares what you think of me? I don't care what you think. I'm not going to change my opinion. I accept you for judging me. Thank you. You have a complete right to think the way you want to think. It's called tolerance. It's fine with me, 682. That's not what he prefers, but it's fine with me. Maybe you should look in the mirror. Look at your face. I will bring David back. Obviously, David doesn't agree with all the points of view I believe in. And then when I start talking about what I do believe in, then never mind. Yeah. Well, it seemed like the I haven't seen this show, no Eggy Bread, but it seemed like they had some character in the former show that was that way. Because I don't always agree. I don't always step in line. I would say one thing consistently about me and my beliefs is I believe in tolerance, acceptance of others, that's what I believe in. I believe in helping others. Yes, I agree with misanthropy. There is a problem if you're, like I said, trying to be a certain way because you want people to look at you and accept you and whatever. And I don't think that you have to worry about what other people think about you. There are women that like football. Not all women like football. There are men who like shopping. Not all men like shopping. Oh, sorry. Black screens every 20 seconds. Okay, 447 says you guys can go to iVlog. So 682, you're so happy that there's no degeneracy in your family. You sound like you love to judge people. I'm not banning anyone. What's gross, ghosts? Maybe so. Oh, you have two tabs open, iVlog and David's site, americasthirdparty.com. Yeah. Then I should really be following the cast at Ustream. Alright, sorry, Greek God. Oh, I'll just call myself third party. Save. Sarah. Third party 2. All right. Well, okay, Greek God. I mean, how do men... He was saying something about if man sits and... They must stand to pee for good health and better libido. Okay, Greek God. Aren't they capable of doing that in, like, a toilet that, like, people have at houses? A urinal's not necessary, I would think, because otherwise all houses would be built with urinals. Maybe that's... I'm just weird like that. Am I weird to believe that? I don't think so. 88th refresh? Wow. Yeah, I agree with you, Misanthropy. What about, have you looked into Portland? Have you seen Portlandia? I don't think they're programmed to be that way in Portlandia. I think they just are. I don't know them. 894, of course they're not, they wouldn't be in the chat room. You're right. The conversation is better when there aren't 200 chatters. And I haven't been following the chat on David's C-Box site either. Right. I don't know, Greek God. I guess the fashion of a toilet doesn't have to do with a health issue. I just don't believe in I don't know, because I wasn't, like I said, born that way. So are urinals necessary? I don't think so. But I don't know. You saw a couple counties in Oregon on Craigslist that seemed reasonable. Oh, nothing you can do for a year or so. Okay, well, keep saving. Wait. Can I feel your situation? One player grabbed you? Oh. A player grabbed you and tried to rip them off your body? Wow. Doesn't matter, I agree. Well, you can watch the show Portlandia, and that's pretty much Portland. Not all of Oregon's like that, but 447 said, oh, stay away from Oregon. They have enough Californians. And as a guy, urinals are needed. Less splash, more secure, and easier. I do agree that guys should. Greek God says, in every case, for a boy to develop without prostate problems, he has to pee standing and never sitting. Okay. All right. So should houses have urinals? Hello, Walgreens. I'm chatting with ivlog.tv/user/America's third party chat. And I'm also chatting with ustream.tv/channel/America's third party. I had the desktop, but see, I have Ustream chat up here, and then Vaughn live chat here, and then iVlog chat here. Eggy Bread, I'm trying to read you on Vaughn, but sometimes I miss what you say. Alright, Walgreens, when he lived in France, he had a sink. Oh, he had a bidet. And they had street urinals. I sometimes respond to you, Eggy Bread. Is a 2 liter? I don't know, 447. I'm not a guy. There were open urinals in the sidewalk that many men could use at once in the 60s and 70s. They had cylinder pay toilets with auto-cleaning seats. I remember something like that in the US too, but it wasn't in the 60s and 70s. It was like in the 90s. But not many people used it. Oh yes, the smell. Dealing with the methane and all the smell. The sulfur, the smell. Yeah, that's always a problem. I don't think I ever got Ghost's response to my question earlier. And now I forgot what I asked. I guess becoming a teacher, I've gotten less grossed out about things, Misanthropy. But I really don't like bodily fluids. That's true.
Okay, dinner is on the stove.
Thank you. I don't know. 849. Maybe it's the high ceilings.
Let me. Okay, we're going to be taking over to switching of the guards, so to speak, and Sarah's going to have her dinner. And we're both dressed for the occasion tonight, Wasteful Wednesday. It's such a special
We
day.
ended up having a big conversation about gender neutrality.
Perfect. Social Wednesday, I love it. Gender neutrality, yeah. This is being pushed on us, and we aren't even given consent. There's not even a vote that we should allow special bathrooms for special.
To me, I think people are people, and who cares about the bathrooms? The bathrooms should just be
single use.
Everybody can use them.
Single use, though. I think
of course
everyone should have a
stalls.
single use bathroom. Well, no, I'm thinking bathroom and sink because I don't want to be standing. Somebody's
And
daughter
sink?
is going to be sitting next to this tranny dude who's in the bathroom.
And sink.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we're going to build new bathrooms, personal sinks, and no one wants anyone to look at them when they're washing their face, especially if it's a tranny.
Why do you need to wash your face in public? I don't.
Well, sometimes you need to splash water in your face when you're driving about 3,000 miles on a cross-country trip. And then you don't want some tranny going, "Hi, cutie." It happened to me in Louisville, Kentucky. I was 17 years old, driving across country. I went into this convention at a Holiday Inn. I'm in a bathroom, and all of a sudden the 3 gay men and 1 tranny descended upon me. And I had had no sleep in 24 hours. I was like on a driving trip. And it was the weirdest thing. I told you about this.
Yes, I know.
It was like, you don't know. I mean, so private bathrooms, sinks included. That's my whole workaround. All right, yeah, it's very disturbing. My broadcast at Vaughn was terminated because they're censoring me. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and, folks, if you're watching our show, we're broadcasting again. We're still recording on YouTube's upload tonight, it's not a live upload, it's a recorded broadcast, which I upload later. But now we know that Trump has hired attorneys, his personal attorney, who is on the take, doing pay for play, like the Clintons did with the Haitian money and all that transfer of power that went on during that time period. Pay for play is the corruption in America. The backbone of the corruption is deeper. They've got money, things they're using against people in Congress. Powerful people are at play here. There's a lot of money involved and a lot of greed in Washington because people want to improve their own personal lives, so they're exploited by these very powerful interests. And then there's this sex thing, the Peg Pizzagate, that is something that we all need to address. Gender-neutral servers. Yeah, there you go. Very nice. My stream is up and running. Let's take a look. I'm going to DEFCON 4. The stream is down again. Okay. We've been knocked off Vaughn a few times. I'm going to go to Vaughn's central server. Let me go off camera for a second while I get tuned up. Okay, I'm off camera. I'm bringing you genetic information. My DNA, the genome, is not written in code. No. You cannot identify anything about me. We've got personal...
And I'm not Johnny Carson.
And we've got Oh yeah, Robo Guy could hang. This could be your chat host, Robo Dude. Yeah, let me go to my chat server and check my settings. We're being DDoSed at one of our ingest servers, so we're going to take another ingest server and go for it. See how it works. All right, let's see if it makes a difference. Hold on, please. Okay, that should do it. Oh, nope, not working. Nope, that did not work. Okay, let's try another one. Now they're not authenticating. All right, good to know. One moment, please. The broadcast is temporarily interrupted due to a censorship at Vaughn. Okay. We should be good to go. Up, up, and away in my beautiful balloon. Okay, you've got Stormy Daniels' statement from Pornstar. Says affair with Trump never happened. Okay, let's get into the show. Yeah. I'm a cybernetic organism. Human flesh of a metal exoskeleton. Yeah. Welcome to the show. I'm your host. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this is an old clip that was, I've got to get rid of it. Yeah, January 31st. That was something Meow TV sent me. That's how disinformation is spread and promulgated over the internet. I am reading you. You're coming in loud and clear, Vaughn. Refresh. The disappearing male. The BPA. Where have all the boys' jeans gone? Where have all the boys gone? Okay, this is a Vimeo. What's this? Let's take a look. Perfect. 43 minutes. Be outstanding for tonight's show. Thanks for picking that out, Scissor Fight. Fantastic. Vimeo is usually a good selection. All right. Roger that. We are fully on top of the show now. We're finally jiving in both rooms. I think Vaughn has somebody DDoSed me at Vaughn, and then I managed to find a server they didn't DDoS me at. So here I am again. And the big top story is Novartis and AT&T spoke to Mueller's office about payments to Michael Cohen, which puts Michael Cohen in a very weird position, because if he does, admit that he was doing this, taking money for power and influence over the president, meanwhile the president thought he was just his personal attorney, I don't know. It sounds like a contamination issue there. Viktor Vekselberg, a Russian billionaire, was questioned by Mueller's investigators as well. The man named by Stormy Daniels' attorney as the man who delivered $500,000 to Michael Cohen for payment we don't know. For what purpose we don't know. Some people think maybe to help pay for the extra bills. Some of these mob deals take a little extra, capital. You know what I'm talking about? Slick glasses, nice shades. Thanks. Yeah, I got these from a bag person who left them on a park bench. I thought that was really cool. I mean, I wear them with such pride and true appreciation for what that man is going through. He's digging through garbage cans, finding amazing stuff like DiGiorno pizzas and ice cream, frozen ice cream. He was really a kind of a cool guy. I haven't seen him around in the area ever since I saw him. You wonder, was the guy a time traveler? Have you ever? I don't think he was, but have you ever thought you maybe met a time traveler? We have a guy in our area who, maybe an angel unawares. You're right. We have a guy in our area who's an old man, and I first saw him arrive in a pickup truck with another old guy, and they're like in their 80s, and the pickup truck was made from junkyard scraps. Every single part on it was from a different car. It's like they had arrived and made something out of a junkyard, literally, pieced it together. I'm not kidding. It was like a pickup truck. The guy gets out, the old guy gets out and goes into the bank, and Sarah was in the bank. I was waiting outside the bank. And the guy actually said, "What year is it?" No lie, she'd be a witness to that. "What year is it?" And everyone turned around and said, yeah. And that was like 2016. "Sir, it's 2016. Are you okay?" And he walked back out and got into the pickup truck, and I saw him drive away with this guy. And ever since then, I've seen him in my area. And he's always hitchhiking, even though we have a free bus service. It's like, dude, we have a free bus service. Why are you hitchhiking? And he's this like old guy hitchhiking. It'd be a really good short story about this old guy who's a time traveler hitchhiking everywhere you go. Yeah. So you are a time traveler, and you went back to hear the 1955 playing Johnny B. Goode at your parents' prom night. How do you know that's not an archetype? Carl Jung, the neo-Freudian, believed that archetypes were installed in our chromosomes, much like instincts are installed in the genetic backbone of any anthropod, any creature. How do you know archetypes aren't part of your chromosomal nature and you're just having a flashback from within your own chromosomal structure, within your brain, your neural network? 1,000 points of light. No quid pro quo. Yeah, we have a free bus on this island. It's paid for by our 10% sales tax. It's pretty good. I mean, and they've opened up the route to Saturdays now, so far so good. But they're diesel buses. That's the problem. I wish they'd converted to hydrogen. I tried to convince the lady that was formerly in charge of that organization to convert to hydrogen or natural gas. Her name was Rose, and it's kind of bizarre. She got a full pension plan, yet totally mismanaged the funding of our bus service. So they have a new guy now who's handling it better. But hopefully people around the country could have these types of things, free bus services like we have. We have a very progressive state, Washington. There's a few free bus services in the country. There's one in Bar Harbor, Maine. I think Land's End supplies the fuel and the infrastructure, the big company that ships out lots of clothing. Anyway, you got to get people to sponsor that kind of thing. All right, Gina Haspel is being looked at, and I heard that the story is not looking good for her. She will not say if torture is immoral. And that's a strong barrier that a lot of the congressmen and women are crossing in looking at her nomination. Protesters were forcibly removed from the Gina Haspel hearing as well. There's video of it.
What meaning does love have in this world if we allow torture? What meaning does love have in this world if we reward torture? Those are the words of Sister Deanna Ortiz, who was tortured under the CIA. No torturers in the CIA have ever been tried for torture. We are a country without honor. That's why we allow torture. We are trying to without honor. Gina Haspel is a torture. Stop the torture! Stop the torture! Stop the torture! Stop the torture!
Stop the torture. Look at him, they're manhandling him. Manhandler. Yelling pointless animal. He's speaking out, you idiot. Why would we tase a man who's using free speech? Boy, Dr. Meow, you don't even deserve to live in France. France was the bedrock of democracy at one time. Now you people live in some sort of a prison of your own making. My goodness. Of course he had the right to speak out. Yeah, you were a democracy, thank you. So while hydrogen is a good way to power things, I agree. But the issue is how we pull out the hydrogen. Well, speak easy. The process of hydrolysis, using electricity to split the hydrogen and oxygen atoms and sequestering those hydrogen and oxygen atoms in separate tanks, provides ample, easy burning fuel called hydrogen and oxygen. It's a loop process. You don't need fossil fuel to keep that going. And that's what some people like Stanley Meyer discovered, which the media tried to call an idiot, unable to. Great ideas, folks, have been put together and destroyed by our country. People, great thinkers and idea people, have always struggled to get high efficiency car engines to you, water engines like Stanley Meyer created. This has been going on for years, where people, great thinkers, have been, wonderful thinkers, have been literally snuffed out and killed, or they buy their invention. But lots of water tools and water fuel sources have been out there over the years. Over 200 ideas have been created in the past 100 years that would have saved us huge amounts on our gas. But the gas companies make a lot of money on these things, so they have no intention to get these ideas to the market.
Thick skin, and don't rely on other people to support you, because they will not. More times than not, an invention is really stolen from the inventors. Even in my prior development of high technology, I've had patents taken from me. I learned from the School of Hard Knocks to be very cautious.
Meyer has always stood out against the crowd. He has no formal qualifications as a scientist because he didn't wait to graduate from high school, leaving early to go straight into research at the high-powered Battelle Institute in his native Ohio. Now he works full-time as a private inventor. He's built a device with potentially revolutionary implications. There is nothing startling about a machine that can extract the hydrogen from water. What is highly unusual is that it should do so with ordinary tap water. The conventional method is called electrolysis. Meyer has turned that process on its head. Unlike electrolysis, his device doesn't use up large amounts of electric current, nor does it produce an enormous amount of waste heat. For 20 years, he has been refining a method to fracture water, which produces vast amounts of hydrogen on demand.
Fracturing water produces vast amounts of hydrogen on demand. So you get the whole point. These ideas have been suppressed, so we could have easily propelled our vehicles on water all these years. And we could have been focused primarily on creating fresh water, which really will solve most of the world's problems. I mean, let's face it, if we have water, we have food. And if we have food, we have prosperity. And if we have prosperity, all of our countries are at peace. It's a simple scenario that could easily replicate across the globe. And we could do this in America simply by leading by example. So building a solar pipeline, or an ocean pipeline, if you will, will give us the ability to do just that. So we're trying to take reclaimed seawater. Anytime we pull seawater in, whether it's a marshland or an actual full-on sucking the seawater out of the ocean, we can use these technologies, which we've developed an idea called the ocean pipeline, which could actually desalinate the water of the earth without even using any fossil fuel whatsoever, which is amazing considering all we need to use is a massive amount of passive desalination. You see, when a container like this, it's not that big either, it's 7 foot by 11 foot. When a container like this is heated up at temperatures in the sun about 150 degrees, it's translucent, the sun goes into it. The evaporation rate is extreme, and you can get 3 gallons of fresh water out of this container in one day, guaranteed. Now, you may not think that's a lot, but if you get 3 gallons or up to 10 gallons, depending on filtration techniques, and there's all kinds of new filtration techniques like graphene, we could easily get 10 gallons per day At that rate, we could easily bring up enough water for all of Las Vegas and Flagstaff and Phoenix to have plenty of water to operate on. Potable water that can work. The elitists don't want us to have peace, right? They're greedy. They also think that they are the pinnacle of the humans sent by God to rule. Good point, 132. That's very true. And most of them are narcissistic psychopaths. You got a good chat going over there at iBlog. Right on. So, getting fresh water is really the key. And if we eliminate that, we will eliminate scarcity. And humanity is, this false antagonism we have toward each other's countries is mostly due to scarcity, and always has been. Even sectarian violence within the Muslims originated with scarcity of water. It wasn't just exactly who defined who the Prophet Muhammad wanted to anoint with the power in the region. So many times these people were just out of water. So they were blaming the Shiites were blaming the Sunnis, and so it really comes down to why is America not leading in water production? Why aren't we just moving really rapidly toward this? Because this false scarcity is being created artificially using weather modification. He's growing. He's 6'7", 370-pound marble who can move, and he's in 8th grade. Boy wonder could be basketball player or football player, bigger than the refrigerator. He could be the dumpster truck. Wow, he's huge. I haven't even seen him yet, and he's in the 5th grade. 8th grade, look at this guy. Massive young man who is building up and stretching out and working out. Louisville, Kentucky. He first appeared inside room 208 of the Olmsted Academy North on Thursday in mid-March, sitting at the corner of a table his legs can't fit under. He's fully engaged in art class. But unlike his 8th grade classmates, he doesn't draw on a sheet of paper. Because of the size and strength of his unusually large hands, the 14-year-old uses poster board because it allows him more room to operate. Yeah. He's a foot taller and 200 pounds heavier than anyone in the room. Well, look out for the football picks to get him, man. He's going to be like a wall. Wow. Amazing man mountain young man. 8th grade, yeah. We're talking big. Who cares? All right. Yeah, whatever. Jesus. It is kind of a marvelous thing. Jesus. Let's move on. Okay, let's, oh yeah, we were going to talk about Gina Haspel. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty on her. She's a former torturer, rendition person, likes to actually waterboard people. I know, that poor guy could get heart failure at that size. He's better be careful. Gina Haspel, President Trump's pick to lead the CIA, told senators Wednesday that she would not reinstate the brutal torture program that the agency ran at black sites after 9/11, pledging to put her moral beliefs ahead of any immoral orders. Okay, she has moral beliefs? Wow. Yeah, I'm going to turn slow chat off and then slow chat back on again. I'm finding my controls are not maybe being bypassed by Mark. There you go. All right, I would not allow a CIA to undertake activity that I thought was immoral, even if it was technically legal, Haspel said. I would absolutely not permit it. Given Haspel's time running a black site in Thailand, though, senators were predictably eager to have her define her morality, and Haspel didn't bite. Asked by Virginia Senator Mark Warner to define her moral code, Haspel would only insist that her moral compass is strong. When New Mexico Senator Martin Heinrich asked if the torture techniques used by the CIA at black sites were moral, she said that she supports the stricter moral standard the U.S. has decided to hold itself to. Asked why her morals didn't prevent her from carrying out immoral orders during the Bush administration, Haspel essentially said she was just following orders when she ran the black site where Fatima Bouchar was tortured. The Moroccan-born Bouchar wrote about her time at the Thai prison in the New Times this week. I have no idea how long I was in the Thai secret prison because no one would let me sleep. The cell was white and stark with nothing in it but a camera and hooks in the wall. The masked abductors were waiting. I was terrified. They chained me to the hooks because I was midway through my pregnancy. I could barely move or sit. Some of what they did to me in the prison was so awful I can't talk about it. They hit me in the abdomen just where the baby was. To move me, they bound me to a stretcher from head to toe, like a mummy. I was sure I would shortly be killed. Okay. California Senator Kamala Harris pushed Haspel to denounce torture. The president has asserted that torture works, the California Democrat said. Do you agree with that statement? Haspel says, Senator, I don't believe that torture works, Haspel said, before suggesting that it might have worked in the aftermath of 9/11. I believe that in the CIA's program, and I'm not attributing this to enhanced interrogation techniques, valuable information was obtained from senior al-Qaeda operatives. Is that a yes? Harris asked. No, it's not a yes. We got valuable information from debriefing al-Qaeda detainees, and I don't think it's knowable whether interrogation techniques played a role in that, Haspel said. Despite her pledges to abide by a stricter moral code, Haspel did not take the opportunity to say she would not waterboard a suspect if so ordered. She says if a CIA has a high-value terrorism suspect in its custody and the president gave you a direct order to waterboard the terrorist, what would you do? Senator Susan Collins asked. I do not believe the president would ask me to do that. Well, she may be alone in that belief because Trump has repeatedly endorsed waterboarding, even suggesting that the U.S. should do a hell of a lot worse during the 2016 presidential campaign. So either this woman is completely devoid of what Trump says and doesn't even watch the news, which makes her inept and incapable of fulfilling her job. Oh, I have email. Thank you. Great. Thanks so much. Glad to have fans. The video has been acting up, yeah. Are we still offline? No, we're back up. Well, I've been running the show at nominal bit rates of 400. There's no reason why it would be screwing up. Okay. I think I'll leave the ocean pipeline down and we'll get rid of that for a while. San Diego's nighttime surfing glowing with aqua-colored lights as bioluminescence takes hold. Oh yeah, I heard this happens when the Tijuana sewage is dumped into the ocean. Yeah. Bacteria do some weird things when they get near sewage. Whoa. The dinoflagellate Lingolodium pallidra is causing breakaway waves to glow bright blue at the night of the coast of San Diego. A red tide that developed off San Diego over the past few days is producing one of nature's small but grand spectacles, bioluminescent light in the ocean. The algae bloom is filled with bioluminescent phytoplankton that lights up with the microorganisms tumbling down the face of its waves and near the shore. At times, the light appears when a surfer paddles his or her board through the surf or simply walks the beach. The question is, will he develop skin cancer? Have there been tests? Does anyone really know? I like that image. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to put that in the background. All right. Bioluminescence. The essence of biolupum. It's the servers not on your side. Servers. Yeah, I know. That's because Mark doesn't pay the servers very well. He's trying to shut us down. You can't see that? How clear does he have to be? Yeah, he's been trying to shut us down for months, if not years. He doesn't know how to shut us down. He's not quite there yet. He's trying to shut the whole thing down without shutting the whole thing down. The German Scatto waterboarding technique works better, really. Same principle, but someone with diarrhea poops in the guy's face. You know, I think you're pretty messed up there, Dr. Meow. I'm going to purge that from the chat room because it's not even appropriate for adults to look at that. Unless, of course, you're a big fan of Jack Nicklaus and his movies. I don't know, there's something about Jack that everyone wonders about. You can't handle the truth. World's deepest plastic bag found at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Whoa. Like, I bet there was like a bag like 30,000 feet under the water, you know. Who really cares? More. News at 11. There it is. Look at that. Sitting there at the bottom of the ocean. Plastic bag. Dump, da-dump, dump. Dump, dump. The world's deepest plastic bag has been found at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, 36,000 feet. Yeah. Undersea in the deepest ocean trench, one of 3,000 pieces of man-made debris dating back 30 years. Oh man, that's so cool. Wow, think of all the cool plastic waste you could find at the bottom of the ocean. I'm kidding. Over a third of the debris found was microplastic, with 89% from single-use products. Oh God. They even know what kind of use products they were. Oh man. The full findings of the study have been published in the Journal of Marine Policy. It shows how human activities are now also affecting deep-sea ecosystems. Beep. Deep-sea ecosystems. Deep sea. Yeah, I'm really upset about this. Yeah, I can't do anything about it though. Neither can you. But we can look at filtration. You know, there's the guy who's setting up buoys, the Boyan guy. He's actually setting up buoys to pick up the dumpster stuff down in the ocean. It's going to take forever though, filtering. Oh yeah, we have to get started though. Yes. Yes. Are you still on the waterboarding subject? Yeah, you couldn't. The whole thing about the other thing was really nasty, Dr. Mia. You can't possibly expect us to watch you talk like that in chat. We have a certain standard here. You are violating protocol. We will allow you to stay in chat, but bear in mind, it is in total violation of protocol. Beep. Let me get a fade on that one. Well, you know, I'd like to think that we're going to get back to square one and have a beautiful, pristine world, but we never will. We'll get close to it, though, if we work toward it. But and nature will take over eventually once human beings were eradicated from the earth. But other than that, I think we just kind of, you know, crapping where we eat. Here on Wasteful Wednesday, we can talk about stuff like that. We started the pre-show talking about tiny houses and container living. I really believe that we are headed toward a future where we need to use some of these simple ways of living, because a lot of young people cannot possibly get by on the money that they're making and have a place to live where they can start a family. And these little houses that are at available, rewind, at a location called shop.greenterrahomes.com. Yeah, I'm going to put the thing on the screen so you can look at it. But, yeah, shop.greenterrahomes.com. Okay. And many of these tiny houses are really affordable. We showed you one for $134 a month. How about one for $80 a month? That's weird. Oh, it's coming. Yeah, here's one for $80 a month. It doesn't come with a bathroom. You have to have like a porta potty in there, but it's got a loft and a you know, it's kind of cool. You got a bed up in there, and you know, it's perfect for a bachelor. But you could put that on a little piece of terra firma anywhere in the US of A. Yeah. Oh, eating fast food is linked to infertility. I wonder if that's glyphosate related. A water bottle without any plastic waste? Okay, I'll take a look at that. Thank you. And you're wondering why I'm able to do all of this in lightning fast time. Because I am doing this in lightning fast time. Hold, please.
So this war is escalating as I speak. And someone left the link to this site below my last video, so I'm passing it along to you. I think you should bookmark it. Okay, we're going to go into Never Lose Truth tonight. And she's got a little thing on the unfortunate situation in Israel right now, in Syria. Scientists have created edible water. Ooh, I'll take a look at that. Thanks for the link.
I've got that protest rally too in our links. Got it. All right. Yeah, so Gina Haspel, if she clears muster with our government, it's because they're not asking the right questions, nor do they care. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to take the eating food thing next, unfortunately. And home evictions are coming. 30,000 home evictions coming in America. Nursing home evictions to be sent in Louisiana. People are being kicked out of their nursing homes. Oh my God. Okay, we're going to go right to these news stories instead of what I was talking about, and just talk about eating fast food linked to infertility. Women who eat a lot of fast food may take longer to become pregnant and be more likely to experience infertility than their counterparts, who rarely, if ever, eat these types of meals. So avoid fast food if you want to be pregnant, ladies. It's a study done in Australia. Women who rarely or never ate fast food had an 8% risk of infertility, whereas the risk was 16% among women who ate fast food. So it kind of bumps you up twice. All right, and more than 30,000 home evictions notices to be sent in Louisiana Thursday. Wow. They're going to lose Medicaid under the budget passed by the state of House of Representatives. So Medicaid is being cut from Louisiana's budget to cover all these old people. Can you believe this? This is freaking me out. How are these old people going to find a place to live when their family won't take them in? A lot of them are going to have to move back home with mom and with their grandchildren. Yeah. Can you imagine being evicted and you're an old lady and you're going, I don't understand. Why won't the government cover my funding? I paid into the tax system all my life. Was that convincing? Did I look like an old woman? Whatever. No professional training whatsoever. All right, and that's it's good we covered that because I don't want to talk about it anymore. And we're going back to the Russian oligarch got allegedly paid Michael Cohen $500,000 for insights into the Trump administration. That's all we know. $500,000 from a Russian oligarch. And remember, Trump said he didn't have any connection to Russians whatsoever. Well, that's a lie. This is definitely proof of a lie. I think they have enough to move on a felony count right there of knowingly and unwillingly denying a fact. Be perjury. Donald Trump would have a perjury felony charge for saying what he did, that he had no connections to Russian oligarchs. Dun, 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 dun. It's going down. U.S. safety investigators examine another fatal Tesla crash. No, only some of those stories were wrong, Cohens. No. You see, you people, you Republicans, you don't understand. Just because the attorney for Stormy Daniels got it wrong a couple times, you're willing to throw the whole thing out. You see where you people don't understand. A couple of exceptions don't make the rule. You don't get that. That's why you keep falling into the trap of believing Trump. You think it's all fake news. It's all just a disgraceful witch hunt, fake news. You actually believe that stuff. Oh, God. That's pathetic, dude. There's so much coming out against Trump, it's not even funny. I wish it was funny. But it's looking bad for him and his legal team. And is Rudy Giuliani still on his team after that gaffe that he made last week? Holy moly. Admitting that Trump paid Michael Cohen out of his own pocket? Wow. We now go to Michelle Obama and her penis. All right. As you can see, this is a ongoing story about the Obama penis issue. If Michelle runs for office, this is going to be a problem because it will definitely swing side by side and get in the way as she goes up and down the stairs of the mezzanine at the White House. I just want to get the right positioning here so we have the bounce back effect. All right. There we go. That's just a loop of the same picture over and over again. So what do you think it is? Democrats, I'm all ears. What do you think? Could it be her phone, Dave, in her crotch? Gabe says. Hail All Day says, and she would know, that is definitely a wiener. Thank you, Oma. You've seen that happen, bouncing around in men's pants before. Well, I just think it's only right. I have nothing against trannies if they want to, be a tranny or whatever the heck he is. But if he wants to, be a tranny, you can't pretend to be a woman and be a tranny. It's a slam against women. Oh, your neighbor said it was Photoshop? Oh, no, this was taken from a live event at Ellen DeGeneres. We have proof of this. Nice try, though, yeah. A lot of Democrats are having a hard time with the idea that they were lied to for 8 years by the Obama team of liars and deceivers and naysayers. You think it's something in her pocket? But why is her pocket in her groin area? That's the problem. Elastic nuts? Well, there you go again. You're talking about nuts. That's nuts. That's just crazy. Oh, on the road with Rose McGowan, an actress turned activist, leaves the Hollywood bubble behind. Wow. A woman who said no to Harvey Weinstein, maybe? On the road. This should be good. But let me intercept this part of the show. We now take away the Obama picture. Thank you. On the road with Rose McGowan. 6 months since going public with rape accusations about Harvey Weinstein and helping to ignite the Me Too movement, McGowan has been portrayed as both a fearless hero and flame-throwing narcissist. Now, as her E! docuseries returns and she battles a cocaine charge, she says it's a setup. The activist opens up about why she helped torpedo her story on NBC. I'd heard about Lauer and her decision to leave Hollywood. I've been a lot happier in the last month than I have been in a long time. Nice. So this is an interview coming up. Hopefully they didn't get rid of it. The Me Too movement, some of the women are talking and getting shows out on E! and talking about their experiences. Look at her. Rose McGowan is coming out about this. So I don't know if it's going to play, but we shall see. I hit the play button. Yeah, having to deal with the harassment by Harvey Weinstein and all the cases now that are still pending. They haven't been going to court at all. It surprises me that Gloria Allred hasn't put one case against Harvey Weinstein together. I would have been. I mean, she's an attorney.
At the Louisiana State Capitol, decisions are being made every day that affect your life.
Okay, we've got a guy. They're going to close 30,000 old people are going to be kicked out of their nursing homes in Louisiana.
Why?
They're cutting funding for Medicaid. The House in Louisiana said they're not going to cover it, and the feds won't cover it. I'll get back to other story in just a second about Rose McGowan.
From taxes to TOPS, to higher education, to health care. Let USA Today Network be your eyes and ears of the Capitol. Please.
What the hell? That's not. It's an advertisement. But yeah, 30,000 nursing homes eviction notices to be sent in Louisiana. People are being kicked out because of no Medicaid under the budget passed by the State House of Representatives. They're cutting off all these people. Notices being sent to 37,000 Medicaid recipients in nursing homes. So their families are freaking out. 37,000 families, that's huge. They have to absorb their old family members who are probably on life support or something.
Certain people might not even have family members.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. You see how I'm saying the states are going bankrupt? Yeah, they won't even pay the Medicaid funds anymore. You see how mismanaged our country is? It's terrible. We need to get fiscal responsibility at the state level in order. That's something that has to take place on Wasteful Wednesday. Lots of states are over budget, $50 to $100 billion. The big ones are definitely overspending $50 to $100 billion. Our state overspends about $12 to $15 billion a year. Washington. It's just overly focused on putting out services without getting funding back, getting a return on investment. Okay, I'm going to close out of there. Here's some water. Scientists have created edible water. I want to show you this. This is kind of weird. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to close the video, but the orb is an edible water bottle.
Oh.
So you can eat it and swallow it. So you're rehydrating without actually... it's a seaweed-based elastic. Takes plastic out of the equation.
That's cool.
That's kind of cool. Created by Skipping Rocks Lab. And we'll put that in the lineup tonight for our videos as we play them later in the evening.
Kind of odd, but cool. I love the idea. You remember how we were going to drop water on people?
Yeah, it would kind of work with the water drop idea, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Cool technology. We'll add that to tomorrow's show tonight. 3 edible items. Okay, I'm going to add that as well. I'm getting links over to iBlog. They're just slipping me links as guests. Thank you. Okay, and this is 3 edible alternatives to plastic dishes. Edible.
Lollyware launched in 2015, claiming to be the first biodegradable cup in the world.
Oh wow! Shipped in plastic? What's up with that?
Yeah. What's up with that? They're shipping it in plastic.
First, a disposable cup you can eat instead of throwing away. Lollyware launched in 2015, claiming to be the...
Lollyware, why are you shipping it in plastic?
Lollyware. I think Lollyware is using this as a gimmick. You can drink the water bottle, but throw the plastic bag in the toilet and watch it kill off the living creatures in your area. Lollyware. Well, good luck with Lollyware. We'll add that to our list tonight as well, and it'll be part of our cool tech as well. Nice. Lollyware. Oh. And there has been some anomalies, 35 degrees above normal in the Arctic right now, Sarah. Farmers are not even knowing when to plant in America right now with the weather patterns and global climate change being as bad as it is, and Trump not willing to admit that. It's kind of bizarre, isn't it?
And it just so happens that this latest surge of warmth is really similar to what we saw in 2016. And coincidentally, research was published just last week by NOAA on that 2016 heat that we saw in the Arctic. Now, that study did not mince words, finding that the extraordinary heat, quote, could not have happened without steep increases in greenhouse gas emissions.
Well, I don't know. It's just a lot of fake news. Climate change is just a lot of fake news. Ivanka and I are very, very clear on this.
I can't imagine denying climate change at this point. With all of the weather the way it is, and all the encounters people have had, from the drought in California and the Midwest now, to the flooding during the hurricanes in Texas and Florida. It's just crazy how Trump is in such denial. And of course he's denying he has a sex tape.
Oh, it's just a lot of fake news.
The man is like living, breathing denial. He's living in denial, and he's not even in Egypt. Yeah, she has a nice face. Thank you. All right, Misa, si, but no licky. Rose McGowan, the sex tape, nude, naked boobs. What? Don't send me there, Meta Nemesis. Don't send me to your porn sites.
Meaning that he was talking to Misanthropy.
Oh, okay. Well, don't send people your porn sites here, okay? Thank you. Purging that right now. Jeez, can you believe that? I'm not going to spank you, but just don't send porn sites in our show. I mean, really. Thank you. Celebrity porn. It was some weird thing he sent in.
I like that Bingalitis. Trump comes to America's third party, learn how to love Melania. Just accept her for who she is. And I don't know, maybe she can accept you, but really, if you want to love her, think of good things that she's done for you. And tell her, I appreciate this, and this. Did you know that you need to give your significant other 5 compliments for every criticism? You say 1 criticism about Melania, you need to say 5 positive things about Melania. I'm having a seat, yes. Because people are people. There's no reason to treat someone harshly. Thank you, Tsunami Rose. Well, I could say the same thing about Trump. The Jack... Misanthropy. Why do these people talk about saying how you should be accepting of all these random things, but when it comes to someone saying the truth, they hate it? What is the truth in your opinion? Is truth objective or is truth subjective? There's a good start topic. Yes. Yes, I love that David does the dishes. I don't have to. Thank you, David. I appreciate you doing the dishes. I don't know if he heard me. I'll remind me and I'll tell him when he comes back. Thank you for doing dishes, Dave Sponham. Good job. Keep your house clean and in order. Like, give me an example, Misanthropy. Gabe has positive things to say about Melania. She's rich, smart, the president's wife, leading new job. She was a model. She's rich. Wait, you already said that. Dr. Meow says a judgment is something naturally human. People who tend to find excuses for others thinking positive is just a way to avoid to actually choosing a side and trying to be sure to always be on the winning side. You know, I just don't want to be in the middle of conflict, period. It's not that I want to be on the winning side. I don't want to be on either side. I don't want to fight. So, there you go. I can usually see, that's why I'm a centrist and a third party person, because I usually see a third way. I don't see black and white, I see gray. Thanks, Dave Sponham. Well, that's what Meow was saying, is that people are trying to be on the winning side, and so they avoid choosing a side, and then they... Anyway. I just feel like... Oh, did I come forward? Then you can see me. Yeah. You know, I see a lot of times if people are having disagreements, I look at the bigger picture and see both perspectives, and or look, if someone's having a bad day, I think to myself, you know, maybe they're not, there's something bigger that's bothering them. And I don't know. It's harder to do with that with people that you live with constantly. It's easier to do that with people that you just encounter in work or something like that. Yeah, if two people are fighting for the same thing, why can't they both win? Oh, your truth is that many gays were sexually abused and taught to be gay. Via the sexual abuse? Or to avoid it? That could definitely be true. Different schools teach children differently, Spectra says. Some are worker schools and some are for higher education depending on their locations. And some actually do both at the same school depending on the classes. And I love schools like our high school in the district where I teach that actually offers students a range. So they could take classes to become workers, or they could take classes to aim for higher education, depending on their choices. I guess I don't choose to be out of the equation completely, Dr. Meow. It's giving up on life if I choose to not. Oh, I see what you're saying, Misanthropy. Yeah. Thank you, 132. I'll try to wear this more often so I can look a little more First Lady-like. Gabe fights for a better living. Others fight for fighting. You win. Tonight, you go home. They go to jail. Yeah, no need to fight for fighting's sake. You need another Sarah's Closet fashion tour. Remember those days, 447? That was a long time ago. That was when I used to cast in between two closets. Milo was a good example of that. Sexually abused and groomed by a priest. Wow. It's pretty amazing. Well, I wasn't in a closet. I was just, here was a closet, like where the flag is, that was a closet, that was a closet. And then I had a little window seat, and I put the computer on the window seat. .447, you fight for the TV remotes? That's funny. I was just thinking about that, how if I choose to not watch TV, I can get a lot more schoolwork done. It's fun to watch TV, like let the mind numbingness happen. It's hard to do the schoolwork, but sometimes I've got to do the schoolwork. I like this article. I read it all. It was all about like picking up after yourself, celebrating your small accomplishments. Oh, she wants to watch the celebrity shows or not? Yeah. Oh, she does want to watch them. Oh, okay. I don't. Yeah, but should people have to do work, schoolwork? That's basically how schoolwork, a lot of it is automated, except I don't always, not necessarily, because I do grade papers. Yeah, 100% focus on teaching. I agree with that. Learning, having students learn things. Less grading, more learning. I would rather a lot of any tests students can do online and it can grade itself, but there's like it's not everywhere, but there's certain people who have like a philosophy, especially in high school. I guess maybe it hasn't gotten down to elementary school. Maybe it's not even at all high schools. Maybe it's just in certain Twitter spheres that I hang out with. Anyway, there's certain people that think that there shouldn't be any grading. We should get away from grading and more about what students have accomplished and what they still need to work on. And maybe have like a narrative kind of thing rather than a checkbox. The tests these days, you can have it select, you can highlight questions, highlight the sentences that don't fit, or you can have that's called hot text. You could do a hot text, multi-select, a multiple choice. There's all these things, and all the PC program can grade it all, and AI can also grade essays. They can have a few good teachers in public school, like I am. Topic 1. Eldon Taylor's books. I don't have a pencil or a pen. I don't have anything in here. Wait, I have a notepad on my computer. Are you saying John Taylor Gatto? Yeah, I have heard of him. I haven't read his books though. Yeah, I know, Rex. That's why. You might be right, topic 1. Just make sure you have conversations with your school's teachers, your students, your child's teachers. Eldon Taylor, best-selling author of Choices and Illusions. Is that what you're talking about? Inner talk, inner peace, accelerated learning, that kind of thing. Yeah, I know, but Dr. Meow, they have, if you think of it now, for instance, tomorrow, there are, every year now, in Washington State and across the country, they have the Smarter Balanced Assessment. Every child from grade 3, 4, 5, 8, and 10, something like that. I don't know if 6, 7, and anyway, I know at least those grades, all of them are required to take a reading test where they have to answer short answers, and a writing test. They did grade them by hand, but you're talking about thousands of kids, thousands of papers. They have done AI to grade them. They do have an AI to grade them. I don't know how it works. They have a system, but it definitely is AI. It has to be. I would love for someone to tell me, like, how can I teach so that the AI grades it best? But it's smarterbalanced.org. I'm pretty sure it's AI graded. Oh yeah, AI can work for right-wrong answer situations, but these are full-on essays. And get this, some kids have to write stories, and other kids have to write informational articles, and other kids have to write opinion papers. They're given a couple articles to read and then respond, and they have to use the text in their writing. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah, we need all kinds of people in the world, Gabe. Oh, isn't it crazy though? You're right. You're right. I would say that's true, Misanthropy.
So, you want to talk about sterilization with cash incentives now?
I want to talk about how we were talking about grading essays with AI.
Oh, AI grading essays. Oh, okay. We'll pass on the sterilization with cash incentive plan tonight. I'm not that concerned about the population of 7.5 billion. I think we just have to manage our resources better. Well, I mean, you can sterilize yourself by not having sex. Abstain from sex. Yeah, a good house cleaner, yeah, Gabe. I like a good house clean. I'm the cleaner. I smell dirt. Oh, you had to watch Idiocracy again last night. I don't like the part where the guy comes out and the president. I don't like him. He's not really a nice president. He looks more like the guy who played in Rocky IV, you know.
I guess they're not scored by AI. I mean, that's a lot of. They're putting a lot into it.
Yeah, they're putting a lot into testing through AI. Who's Chin Chan's house? Wait a second. The bank took Chin Chan's house. Let me take a look. I hope your spelling is right because I'm Googling it. I got to find out what this is all about. It's just too weird. Man bulldozes his own home to make banks think twice about his house.
Homeowner facing tax liens and foreclosure takes matters into his own hands and bulldozes his $350,000 home.
Wow. Many of us can relate to his frustration, but it's his solution that has everybody talking. News 5's Curtis Fuller broke the story. He joins us with tonight's #1. Curtis?
Yeah, can you imagine this? This homeowner says the whole situation has forced him into bankruptcy. He admits some might call him crazy, others might call him creative.
Sorry.
But it underscores the level of anger and...
I'm angry because it's a 2010 link. Could you give me a topic that I could talk to? Christian Weston Chandler. Oh, okay, thank you. Hang on. The bank took Christian Weston Chandler's house. Oh, no, really? I didn't know he was in financial problems. I hadn't seen him at the club lately. Oh, let me Google it. Hold on, please. Thank you. I don't know, man. I mean, this guy sent me on a goose chase, man. I ain't nothing. There's no news story there.
Goose chase?
Yeah, please
Thank
do.
You.
Topic. We're not dealing with your topics anymore. I'm fine. I hope he sells all his assets. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah, for being on Spectra. Yeah. You really don't like me, do you? That's okay, Spectra. Not everyone likes everybody. I loaded this up with a real fruit enzyme. It really makes a difference. And I diluted it 3-to-1. Oh, I'm cool. Okay, thank you. I'm in fruit enzyme heaven. Fruit enzyme, I spray on my face. It freshens me up for the show. You had a guy burn his house down for getting divorce papers. I believe it. We had a guy in our area who was a very successful skin doctor. And he got into an argument with his wife and slugged her. His whole life went downhill right after that. I mean, she filed charges. He ended up, like a month later, escaping from the police at 7:30 in the morning with his car with a light broken on his car. And he drove down the end of the island and crashed. And he virtually ran across the street, and the state patrol officer ran right over him. And he went through the windshield of the state patrol office, or his car. It was just a tragic ending to the skin doctor. Not a spin doctor, skin doctor. Like, whatever. Jeez. But life can spin out of control at very interesting times for a lot of very successful people. So just because you think you may find yourself in a beautiful home with a beautiful wife, and you may ask yourself, what does it matter? Vanilla is now worth more per ounce than silver due to the shortage of vanilla. I'm so glad I stockpiled my vanilla. I've got these vanilla beans I've put away for longevity. Dried vanilla beans. Yes. Actually, vanilla is a really important additive in a food. I mean, without it, most of our sweet items wouldn't even taste right. Vapors are hogging the vanilla. What are they using it for? Market manipulation. They're holding back on vanilla crops just to raise the price. You're right. I would not doubt that. So you're looking at how AI grades testing.
AI ed infrastructure.
Interesting. Well, there's only, the thing about AI is there's only one right answer to most questions. And AI functions on that basis.
These are for essays.
So essays can be graded with AI? Wow.
Yeah. And let's see, here's a thing which is a air contract with the state of Connecticut, but it says scoring methodology, American Institutes for Research.
I believe we are having AI every night, Mangalitis. Sarah and I are fully functional AI operatives here on the internet. Someone asked me, what do you do for a living? I don't. I'm not alive. I am artificial intelligence, providing you interactive virtual chat every night. Well, that's pretty cool. I'm glad that they have this ability. I mean, it's phenomenal. I'm kidding. I don't think we could ever integrate AI here. We had Cyber Jedi came in the room, and I asked him to create a chat show for us, and he an AI chat show robot, and he hasn't come up with anything.
So they have automated scoring search
Corinthian level
studies in 2014.
Yes, they have automated course studies for 2014. The refinements for the field test and the short text items have been included in this essay. Beep. Are you a cybernetic organism? Of course not. Do I sound like a cybernetic organism? Jeez. That is most preposterous. I have a natural persona which makes me look and seem real. Look, David, I was not lying, I promise. Okay, so you got the story now. Thank you. I will win the election. Even if I am a robot. Help us, foreclosure risk high. Oh, this is serious. Okay. Chandler, this is a person who said was going to foreclosure. Let us listen to his 49-second pitch.
Please, everyone, help us. Just the past 6 months, I can't talk about it, but the money we've been getting the past 6 months, we lost a whole bunch of money. And if we don't pay this mortgage, they're gonna foreclose on our house. So please help us. I'm gonna add more listings later, but for now, please go on to my I am buying everything that I have on there right now.
This is the new snowflake generation, Sarah. Millennium/snowflake. They're incapable of dealing with the life stresses. They blame everyone else, and they want help, and they beg openly without any shame. Dave, check out Dave's link. Hold on. Lava pool sinks toward water table. We are now looking at the water table.
The other thing that has been happening throughout this time is that the lava lake here at the summit has continued to drain or drop in elevation at a very steady rate.
Check this out, Sarah.
This morning, we put out another public statement noting that as the lava lake reduces in elevation and recedes to within the volcano, there is concern about the eventual intersection of that lava column with the level of the groundwater table below Kilauea summit. At that time, it is permissive that water will flush into the system of hot rocks that are remained, and we may move into a period of repeated phreatic explosions or steam-driven explosions. This is behavior that it was observed at the volcano during a similar drawdown of a lava lake in 1924. So this public notice that went out this morning was to call attention to that concern and say something about the uncertainties about that process and also the hazards that could be associated with that process, which include far downwind ash fall and near field ballistic blocks that can be flung out during these explosions. Within an hour or so of putting out that notice, we did have a fairly large explosion from within the evacuated vent or lava column that has been drawing down now for more than a week. And we think, based on field observations that were done immediately, that what happened.
Thank you, Sarah. Awesome job. Thank you.
American Institutes for Research.
American Institute for Research is developing.
Might as well call it AI for essays.
Yeah, American Institutes for Research, AI for Research. They're just using those letters for an acronym that will match AI.
AI Reading.
AI Reading is the company that's doing the testing on essays. Amazing that artificial intelligence can test essays. Can score essays. Dropping lava lake concerns. I will continue with this story later. I want everyone to know that I came out before Max Headroom. Please bear that in mind. I am an earlier version. Max Headroom was developed after me. Beep. People said, Dave, you are Max Headroom in Hollywood. I couldn't believe it. It was like they must have known something. I've heard about the massive wave just now in the chat room, and now I'm finding out about it in real time. Here's the massive wave. New Zealand, believed to be a southern hemisphere wave. Look at this. We've got significant wave height, folks. Look at this. Massive amount of wave height. Whoa. It's 14 feet high at the epicenter. Amazing. Well, you know, you see that kind of wave out the ocean and you go scrambling for your boat. You batten down your hatches. Yeah, you could capsize in a wave that big. Have you heard of super waves? Super duper waves? There's super waves out there. Oh yeah, that super waves are 45 feet high. So I'm surprised a 14-foot high wave is not that big of a deal. I believe it too. Surfers are getting pitted, so pitted. I wish I could play that right now, but I have to wait an hour to play that. Yeah, that's a monetized thing. That the guy makes his money on that video on YouTube. Can you believe that? His whole life has been about that one scene where he's like talking about his experience in the middle of the ocean. I can play a little of it just, you know, to give you a sample of the surfer delight. Oh, we got helicopters over us. Whoopah!
You see Danny? What? You see Danny? What? You see Danny?
Is that a helicopter right above us?
I think so.
Wow. Yeah, that's low flying. You felt the vibration? Did you feel the vibration?
Yeah.
The whole house shook. Can you believe that? Wow. Yeah, this surfer interviewed somebody one day and then they made a song about it. It's pretty funny.
Oh, bro, it's just like, dude, you got the best barrels ever, dude.
Yeah, take cover. That was weird. Yeah, they must be monitoring something. That helicopter buzzed my house. Did you feel the vibration somehow on your end on the video? Because the table was rumbling like that. Yeah. Wow, we were as close to the. It was right above us. I mean, those blades were like 25 feet above us. We have a base near us, and you hear it here. Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I'm feeling that good vibration, except it's not the Beach Boys song. Third Party Fan 05 says, Dave, I got banned on Twitter for talking about HAARP and geoengineering. I figured as much. That foreclosure video must have triggered the CIA. Good Vibrators. That's a new song. I don't think the Beach Boys would be singing that, though. Good vibrators. Yeah. Be an endorsement for like Hitachi Corporation. They could use those. That might be a selling idea for advertising. Who cares? So Novartis is one of the companies, along with AT&T, that paid Michael Cohen over $1 million in funding just to get inside the Donald Trump administration. Now that is corruption, folks. Pure and simple. That's corruption. That's pay for play. Like Hillary Clinton was offering when she made those deals with those Haitian people, the donators. They all thought that they get in on it, and they did. Some of them got actual, ability to build a resort right where all those dead people were carted away from Haiti, from the earthquake. That's pay for play. Michael Cohen, a longtime fixer for the president, reached out to Novartis then Chief CEO Joe Jimenez, promising help gaining access to Trump and influential officials in the new administration, according to an employee inside Novartis familiar with the matter. So Cohen was out there not as his personal attorney, but as his envoy and representative, basically pitching stuff. If that money loops back to Trump through the campaign fund, it's quittance for the Trumpster. He's going to have to resign. Donald, do us all a favor. Resign before you make a fool of yourself doing a bad deal with North Korea. Just resign. We'll put the deal on hold with North Korea. David, I got banned on Twitter for talking about HAARP. Yeah. I guess I was still reading the same chat. Yeah. Yes. I'm a person who has been swatted, so it's a little unnerving to have a helicopter fly over my house at 25 feet. Yeah. Now, at some time, there's a terrible plane accident, and an F-18 or something similar, F-35, were to crash, God forbid, on my house. You'd know what it was all about, right? Yeah, that would be the telltale sign something was not up. There has never been a crash over the Whidbey Naval Air Station of a large plane. So they've got a good record, they fly well, they've got good training. So I have confidence they're not going to crash. But sometimes when I look up in the sky, I see an octagonal pattern of 8 planes flying 10 feet apart. Seriously. 8 planes flying 10 feet apart, just 1,000 feet above our house. So one of them hits a wing and the others can go. You've seen the Blue Angels crash before, right? That happens. People make mistakes. Human error can happen, and God forbid that happens to me. I don't want to be terminated, decimated by a crashing plane. So last night we talked about all the CIA informants that China has killed, crippling U.S. spying operations. Many people aren't even aware of that. The media isn't covering it. I drew the connection between the Henan incident that happened here on the island back in April 1st of 2001. The United States Navy EP-3E Ares II signals intelligence aircraft ran into an encounter with the People Liberation Army Navy. A J-811 interceptor collided in midair, resulting in an international dispute between the U.S. and China over that plane. Well, China pulled that plane down and reverse engineered it, in my opinion. And that's why we have the situation we have where virtually 18 people, 18 top CIA agents based in Beijing were killed and terminated by the Chinese government. They found out who they were. I think it's the communications on that plane that gave the Chinese what they needed to do in order to decrypt a lot of our communications. That's my biggest concern. So we don't have a solid play in China, and they're building bases secretly, and it's dicey to be doing business, especially international relations with China and North Korea right now, other than trade. Trade, I think we can look at as a common denominator for global economic growth. Global economic growth. Trade, I think, is essential for all the countries. I've never done different tie knots. I've always done the same tie knot every single show. I've never done different ones. What show have you been watching? Guess 447. Are you of this earthly plane, or are you from another dimension? You are not robotic, are you? We've had robotic people come into our show. People who pretend to be human. Welcome to the show. I will provide you most excellent service. The Clintons know how to consolidate power. They know how to get dirt on people, too. Why do you think Trump has not prosecuted Hillary Clinton? Because she's got all the dirt on Podesta, which connects to somehow to Epstein, which goes back to Trump. I mean, they probably have sex tapes of Trump and Epstein. Who knows? I'm guessing. But, I mean, they have dirt on each other. I've never done any mock turtleneck shows, man. What world are you living in? I've had only 1 or 2 of those videos ever shown where I played with a mock turtleneck. There's the only one that I've ever seen in my collection is this one right here, which is me doing the presidential impersonation video. You probably remember that, right? You know, people don't remember because I did it back in 2012. Well, let's be clear.
Hi, I'm David John Sponheim, and I want to be your president. People are asking me every day on our blog TV show, are you like a porn star or something? And I'm going to tell you, man, I am not a porn star. What happens when a president has to answer the ultimate question, are you a porn star? And the answer is, like, from Nixon's point of view is, I want to make this perfectly clear. I am not a porno star. Or maybe if you were Jimmy Carter would have said, I think that Rosalind and I are not engaged in any behavior like that. I did lust after a Playboy magazine, though. Or maybe Ronald Reagan, the guy who pushed Jimmy Carter aside and showed us what true presidents are like. Ronald Reagan. Well, I'm sure Nancy and I wouldn't have approved of that, but it would have been awfully fun. Or, Mr. Gorbachev, take down your pants. Or could it be like George H.W. Bush? 1,000 women I didn't do. Or America is a new world odor. Or Bill Clinton, I never had sexual relations on camera. But or something maybe even more contemporary, like George W. Bush, you know? People die fighting for a porno. Laura and I never did that. So what if Barack Obama said, make no mistake about it, I'm not a porno star. Could you advance the teleprompter? Okay. I think this guy should admit to having never been a porno star either. Ooh. Don't ever call me a porno star.
Wow, that was really weird. Yeah, it was like I was getting off on pretending to have, whatever. That was back when I used to get noticed on YouTube before they started censoring me. No, I did a lot of stuff to get noticed back in the early YouTube years, and none of those attempts worked because YouTube found out about what I was doing and started censoring me. So I stopped making those types of videos. I don't know what that was. It was just me having fun on the camera. But yeah, that was I really did try to become a phenom, but as soon as this hit started coming in, my subscriber level was locked down. And this is about 2009, they started hitting my subscriber level. I have not had any new subscribers on our YouTube site in about 9 years. Same with Twitter. 8 years to be exact. So they have been censoring our show from way, way back. No seizure there. No, I was just having fun with the camera. Yeah. But now that I'm human, everything is normal. You have no idea that you're dealing with cybernetic intelligence. Everything is perfectly normal with David now. You cannot see the infrastructure of his face or the contours of an exoskeleton. Human flesh over exoskeleton. I don't support the YouTube shooter, no. I don't believe in artificial creatures or people formed by CGI attacking people. I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong for people to be attacking people in general, but for CGI characters to attack people to get noticed and false flags to persist, there's only one reason why they do that. To keep the ball rolling on your fear of terror, which I determined recently in my analysis. This is a common effort designed to create the justification for more of a police state. False flags equal more police state. Won't you be my neighbor? Hi, neighbor. Would you like to say neighbor with me on my show? Someday, when we develop a radio show, when radio hits the internet, we could have a radio show. I was thinking of opening up a radio show again, using a VPN this time, and developing a Skype thing, as well, using the VPN. I really should do that. I should do that probably soon. I have the ability to do a Skype with a VPN now. I am currently not broadcasting. Yeah, you're getting black screen on iVlog. I am not sure what's going on with that. It could be censorship, because they don't want anyone to know that false flags are really just to create a greater police state and to disarm the population. It's designed to get rid of your guns. I did Discord for a while, and it was a disaster, and I believe it was hacked by the NSA. There was evidence that Echelon was accessing the Discord upfeed, creating IP blocks and DDoS attacks on all new incoming joiners. On the Road with Rose McGowan, an actress turned activist leaves the Hollywood bubble behind. Again, will this play? It was queued up a while back. It's not playing. We will see. Just not sure why it's not playing on that. Yeah, I'm going to try it on another browser. Hold on, please. Oh, no, it's playing. Here we go. Okay. Maybe we'll get lucky here. Up, up, and away. Boing, 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 boing. Bong, bong. Boing, 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 boing. Bong, bong.
There's a documentary called Citizen Harvey, which is going to debut in Cannes, in the market.
Are they stealing my title?
Yes.
Citizen Harvey?
Yeah, it's with the BBC. Yeah, so tell me your reaction to that besides that.
I think that speaks for itself.
Yeah, and then tell me.
That's weird. That really makes me, that title makes me really uncomfortable that Citizen Rose was first and that it is about, that's really weird. That makes me, I've not heard about that I'm hearing about it in real time.
Well, again, she's been violated by now somebody taking her title in real time. Well, this woman was apparently one of Harvey Weinstein's recruits, and she's outspoken about it. Now she's going on a tour on the E! Network. Yes, they're trying to black out anyone's attempt to think out of the box. Is video off on iVlog? Are you getting video? Because I can go off and on just to get back up. Okay. She was hot before Sinead O'Connor phase? Really? Yes, they have a backdoor to Discord. That is correct. Misanthropy, yeah. NSA controls Discord. I don't think it's appropriate we broadcast there. Boeing, Airbus to lose $39 billion in contracts because of Trump's sanctions on Iran. See, this is exactly why I said Trump was blowing it with adding the sanctions on Iran again. You see what I'm talking about? Trump doesn't think. My idea was to not sign the treaty, let that expire, and keep the waivers on the sanctions, but work toward ending the sunset provisions in the Iran treaty. But Trump didn't get that memo. Somebody should transcribe all of the details of our show, not just give him the cliff notes, because he really needs to know the details. He's not exactly a stable genius all the time. In this February 5th photo, Boeing worker Paul Kovaci reaches out to a touch of Boeing 737 MAX 7, the newest version of Boeing's fastest selling airplane. in Renton, Washington. Yeah, this is a big seller. And if $39 billion to replenish Iran's aging fleet of commercial planes is what would be up for grabs and wouldn't actually go through if the reimposition of sanctions goes place. You know, Trump, you just aren't good for business. Wake up, man. Iran needs at least something out of that whole treaty period. They got their $150 billion. Let them at least remove their sanctions. They did have good faith in the early stages. Just because they didn't let us see their nuclear weapon doesn't mean that we have to shut them all off. Yeah, we're smelling chemtrails every day. There is no Clean Air Act in force except at the local level. I called the EPA and they said the Clean Air Act is only implemented at the Department of Ecology. So it's all up to each state as to how they implement it. Our state has some pretty bad companies, yeah. I like Sinead O'Connor. Speaking of Sinead O'Connor, I think she's really a battler of human rights, and her efforts to at least talk about mental illness issues recently. I love about my mother that she's... What? Oh. Yeah, well, she's had some mental issues about her mom and all that. But nothing compares to you. There's nothing compared to that song. And we'll play that at the end of our show here in about 45 minutes. I like that. I mean, it's just one of the best songs ever made. It was a Prince song that she did. Nothing compares to Sinead O'Connor. In response to Syrian military shelling of the Golan Heights region, upon shelling the Golan Heights region, the Israeli Defense Force is fighting back, shelling the town of Hadar in southern Syria. So it's tip for tap. Back at you. Okay, I'm pulling down the false flag scrim, and real war is happening. So we don't need as many false flags. We could just live in fear based on the real war happening. There you go. In response to Syrian military shelling. Yep, that's what I just read. Okay, so that's it's just shelling back and forth. Yeah, they're just going back at it, testing their weapons. We'll see how far it goes. It won't be like shock and awe when we clearly won the war in Iraq. You know that when during shock and awe, our government let behind all of Saddam Hussein's weapons caches without any guards next to them. I'm not kidding. Talk about a waste. We literally let all of his weapons caches go unguarded for a month or two. And all of the terrorists got in there and they took all kinds of weapons, plastic explosives, everything. High-grade explosives. 350,000 tons of high-grade explosives were pulled out. General Petraeus, who worked on this detail, finally said that we armed the terrorists by letting them have access to all of Saddam's cache of weapons. But literally, Petraeus said that they got about half of those back. So half of those have been retrieved through military operations in Iraq. But there's a whole lot of caches of dangerous high-grade explosives still in Iraq, courtesy of George W. Bush. People die fighting for democracy. Laura and I just take bowel movements in the morning when we're regular. Sinead was gorgeous. She's dealing with some life troubles. I think we all are as you get older. You know, she's no longer the perfect, beautiful person that she was. But when you have that beauty and that face and that concentration and that delivery and that voice, I mean, Sinead had it all. She really did. She delivered one heck of a performance, and we'll play that in a little bit. So, but in the meantime, I think it's only appropriate that I look like her. Nothing compares to your show. Hi, Dave. I'm a former star. Sinead was gorgeous. Yeah. In response to, okay, we're done there. Thank you. Dead spit on. Yes. And now a word from our sponsor. Actually, I don't have any sponsors. I just have the belief that I'm delivering a great message, and our country really needs to unite in the center of the political spectrum, and we've got great ideas to save money in America and getting our government to run with a return on investments so we no longer have to drain your tax dollars. These are the reasons, along with many others, I think that I am Mr. Right.
'cause you make me melt away. My Mr. Right, too good to be true. My world around, 'cause you're the peace I find. If you sweep me off my feet, my heart stops to beat. 'Cause you make me melt away. Cause you make me melt away. My Mr. Right, too good to be true.
Okay, thank you. And now on to our $1 billion container wall idea. A concept that could very well save the country, well, $25 billion. That's what Donald Trump wants us to do. $1 billion container wall will save tons of money. And these things are readily available. With less global trade, we're seeing a lot of these at the docks. We could buy them up and save a tremendous amount of money on building and construction, which these things are already made, and they even make the grappling hooks that connect to the bottoms of these and the tops that connect these things permanently, and you can weld them shut with a welding torch. So even a barrier like this can't be knocked down without a massive truck of some sort. Anyway, the concept is very, very possible. And I think in lieu of the fact that they've got ideas like this that look sustainable, something like this could be like possible. Lit walls, different colors, or even one solid color, all kinds of potential to change the color of that. Okay, now with Gina Haspel up for domination, some bad things are happening. This guy was the person that Gina Haspel tortured 65 times, waterboarded him, just to get false information. She claims that this guy is the kingpin in the 9/11 attack. That's what the government line is. Again, anybody is waterboarded 65 times is bound to say whatever. So we don't know what he is, but we do know that he tried to reach out and he wants to talk to the 9/11. He wants to talk about what happened to him during the interrogations that happened after 9/11 by Gina Haspel. And his Mr. Muhammad is his name, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, says that Ms. Haspel ran a black-sided prison in Thailand. He wants to talk about it. He was subjected to suffocation technique called waterboarding. Did I say 65? I'm sorry, 185 times or 83 times over 15 sessions. Stripped naked, doused with water, slapped, slammed into a wall, given rectal rehydrations without medical need, shackled into painful stress positions, and sleep deprived for about a week, being forced to stand with his hands chained above his head. And he hasn't even had a chance to speak out on these issues. So I think he should have a chance to speak out on these issues. And I don't think Gina Haspel would make a good director of the CIA. She seems lost and has no moral bearing. She seems to have no concern about torture or rendition or the fact that she hid all of this stuff from oversight by our government. He looks like Jim Belushi, doesn't he? Yeah. Good point. Jim Belushi had a slightly different look. Or has, I should say, because he's still living. And with the tan, I guess he is quite different in face, but your eyes are pretty good. I mean, this guy's got slightly slanted eyebrows in a different direction than Jim. Their nose is similar. Very similar. Yeah, very similar lower. Yeah. Jim has a different jawline. All right, we're done there. Thank you. Yeah. I lost weight. No, I'm just learning to wear suits that are not tailored. Oh, believe me, if I wore a suit that was tailored, it would be more like in here. No, I picked this up for 50 cents, this suit. It's a $1,000 suit I got for 50 cents, so I don't even care. It's not like I'm going to pay a tailor $50 to retailor it. I mean, come on. I bought it for 50 cents. What's wrong with you? Are you one of those people that spends money recklessly and wonders why the credit card debt collectors are calling you every day? Yeah. You probably are, right? You don't know why you're deep in debt. You just think that I'm not wearing a good enough suit. Torture is not effective because the person will say anything to stop the pain. Yeah, look at John McCain and how he colluded with the Vietnamese. The Viet Cong were torturing him, and he allegedly colluded with them against his own POW friends. That's what the word is. I don't know if it's true, but he was being tortured. So that's why they're saying John McCain wasn't that big of a hero. But I think he was. I think he really was a hero. Although I don't really know what he did on board that plane when it crashed. Yeah, on the USS Forrestal. I'm not really sure what that story's about. If he was involved in the crash and was complicit in the crash, then John McCain would know. I don't know. I'm talking about John McCain and his history in the Navy and as a pilot and all of that. Yeah, I guess he was an engineer, wasn't he? He did it for free, though. I think it largely cost 50 to 75. Then a good tailor is hard to find. Yes. You got a good friend who would sharpen and do 2 suits that would all fit good. Uni, you have so many people, friends that would help you. I live in a remote compound beneath the surface of the earth. I'm not about to send my suits out for tailoring. I know they cost $50 to tailor something like this. Don't tell me what I can and can't do. Yeah, I'm amazed you're even in the room. You're a black dude from Kansas. If you got friended, it should be a problem. It should be a problem. Well, you're a black dude from Kansas. If you got friends, it should be a problem. Yeah, well, maybe you do have a friend. Yeah, you've got a friend who tailors your suits. A black man in Kansas. You must have a lot of friends. Well, looks like the EU is having a meeting to remove the USA as a world superpower over Iran and Israel, starting lobbying missiles at each other. Thanks, Trump. Yeah, I really don't care if the EU and the IMF and all of the UN members disavows us. We really don't need to worry about them. It's time for America to just back off and rest on our laurels. We really don't need those people. I agree with Trump not signing the treaty. It was a failed treaty. All it did was pad John Kerry's pockets and Susan Rice's pockets. So let's get real here. When they have investments in Iran and they're putting together a treaty, that's not good for business. That's like Donald Trump protecting Russia by not initiating sanctions. That too is not good for business. He's helping Russia, but he's not helping us. One moment, please. Plant enzyme spray. Oh. Aromatherapy too. It like puts you in another dimension. You start to feel like you just had a shower. It's great. You feel refreshed after the spray. I'm telling you, this stuff is incredible. I just opened up the bottle and added my small amount, diluted it down with water. It's great. You should do it. It's worth it. You got to live once, and it's free. Well, almost free. Well, during the treaty, no missiles. After the treaty, missiles everywhere. I think the treaty's working. No. Look, the treaty allowed Iran to have a nuclear weapon. That's not cool. Barack Obama did that. He signed his name to that. That wasn't cool. If they want to have nuclear weapons, let them. It's all what they want to use those nuclear weapons for. If they strike or threaten to strike Israel with one nuclear weapon, that's one toasted Iran and a goodbye Tehran. But Israel has plans for global annihilation of the world. So, If it comes down to Iran wanting to edge Israel closer and closer to the brink of nuclear war, I'm sure that Israel's capacity to deal with that is completely covered under the Samson option. The Samson option is a method of solving the world's problems based on Israel's use of nuclear weapons. In the name that some military analysts and authors have given to Israel's deterrent strategy of massive retaliation, the Samson option, as depicted in this wood engraving. The name is a reference to the biblical Israelite judge Samson, who pushed apart the pillars of Philistine temple, bringing down the roof and killing himself and thousands of Philistines who had captured him, crying out, "Let me die with the Philistines." Yeah, there's options like the Samson option, which is more than possible, in this scenario. And since Israel doesn't want to admit to how many nuclear weapons they have, and since they no longer even talk about signing the nuclear non-proliferation agreement, which Donald Trump should be talking about, I think that we really don't have a fair treaty environment for either Iran or the U.S. to abide by. But I do think that Iran should not have economic sanctions imposed back on them, because I think companies like Boeing need to make those sales of jets. I mean, there's a lot of issues here at play. Going back on reversing and ending the waivers to end economic sanctions is absurd. Now, let me get this right. Donald Trump wants to impose economic sanctions that'll hurt our companies like Boeing on Iran, but he doesn't want to impose economic sanctions on Russia, which has no bearing on our business transactions with Russia for the most part, because we're both competitive in both areas. Isn't that amazing? So Trump is absolutely doing whatever Russia wants, and not imposing sanctions is going against 99% of Congress. Yeah, okay. Now it's time to talk about the 5G network and the destruction of our environment. I've talked about the dangers of the 5G network over the past few days. There have been noted reasons to be concerned about the 5G network, 11 reasons, and those are: a denser soup of electrosmog, massive amounts of digital airwaves, 5G, effects on the skin. The human body has between 2 million to 4 million sweat ducts. Israel explains, a study done at the Hebrew University explains that our sweat ducts act like an array of helical antennas when exposed to these wavelengths, meaning that we become more conductive. A recent New York study with experiment on the 60 gigahertz waves stated that the analysis of penetration depth shows that more than 90% of the transmitted power is absorbed in the epidermis and epidermal layer. So these frequencies we're getting from the digital spectrum are actually affecting our skin and its upper regions. Okay, I'm going to try to slow me out off. There we go. That might help. Effect on the eyes. Cataracts, potential links to RF frequencies, microwave radiation. Lens opacity affected in rats in a 1994 study. Effects on the heart, arrhythmia in rats and frogs studied whose skin were exposed to the MMWs found heart rate changes, arrhythmia. Immune system effects. Oh yeah. Affects healthy mice, could affect their ability to withstand infections. A whole body exposure of healthy mice to low intensity has a profound effect on the indices of nonspecific immunity. Effects on cell growth rates. It changes properties and activity of cells. It affects our DNA as well. Effects on bacteria resistance. It makes it much easier for their sensitivity to biological agents and chemicals increase. Effect on plant health. Things you eat are destroyed. The quality of the food. Think GMOs on steroids. When you irradiate something, it affects the quality of the food. It affects on the atmosphere and depletion of fossil fuels. That's huge. Yeah. Disruption of the natural ecosystem. And number 11, most F5G studies are misleading. 5G will will use pulsed millimeter waves to carry information, but as Dr. Joel Moskowitz points out, most 5G studies are misleading because they do not pulse the waves. This is important because research on microwaves already tells us how pulsed waves have more profound biological effects on our body compared to the non-pulsed waves. Previous studies, for instance, show how pulse rates of the frequencies led to gene toxicity and DNA strand breaks. So they're basically spitting out Dr. Frankenstein crap all over without even testing it on, or showing the test results to the American people and letting us talk about it. So we're not really getting a word in edgewise on the 5G network. They're just doing it anyway. They're implementing it. Kind of sucks. It's unfortunate, really. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, right? Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on tonight with Vaughn, but there seems to be a slow chat permanently put in play. And I'm not sure how they're doing it, but they're implementing the slow chat. And I'm trying to disable it by turning it off and on, or on and off. Yes, I believe they're sending people back. North Korea is releasing hostages. Yes. It's happening. 3 hostages from North Korea have been released. But this is not Donald Trump's doing. U.S. detainees are thanking God. And I guess they're thanking Trump. Okay. It's a big win for him. Yeah, we think that the Vaughns are trolling you again. Yeah, I think they stopped our chat. They shut us down. I'm going to refresh. Chat seems to be dysfunctioning over at Vaughn. North Korean releasing prisoners is nothing new. They released prisoners for the last 20 years. So true, 373. Obama didn't even reach out to North Korea, but I think Trump is his saber rattling really did create kind of a stink with the international community, which led to the backlash, which I think pushed North Korea to the brink of wanting to do a deal. But what deal, we don't know. We're still not sure if they're willing to get rid of any nuclear weapons. Elvis the Pelvis says message censored. Yeah, Vaughn is messing with us big time. Well, you've got the iBlog show. The Vaughn channel is a mess. Watch the website Graph Analyzer, always dropping off. Yeah. Dropping. Channels shut down without notice. Yeah. Site pulse always way up or way down. I think Vaughn is getting hit or targeted or maybe even doing it purposely. The Americans, 3 Americans released by North Korea on Wednesday have thanked President Trump and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo for securing their freedom. Well, good. Thank goodness that they did that. All right. Yeah, he's really playing hardball. They overload their servers. I don't know. It just seems like Mark is underpowered his servers. Purposely. Well, I guess it's come to that. We're going to have to find another place to do broadcasting. Greek God is over at Ustream saying, I got banned on Facebook quoting Joan Rivers that Obama is gay and Michelle is a tranny. And Greek God says the Chinese have the best intel. Sorry, Dave, CIA's crap. No, I hear you, man. It's true. Our government is kind of running a pretty backward plans to infiltrate other countries, and they've allowed other countries to infiltrate our country. Well, Rex, the reason why Vaughn is not working is because Mark has been getting paid to shut it down. He makes a lot of money just censoring this show and keeping us corralled here. No, that's the line that Mark uses, that people can buy VIP to avoid Mark's throttling. Whether it's true or not, it still hasn't generated a lot of VIP users. he doesn't have any verifiability to show that his site makes him the kind of money he claims he's making per year. So as he fills out his tax returns, only Uncle Sam knows for sure how much he's making, but if he indeed is being honest. Twitter says Syria has shot down Jewish planes. Let's take a look. Breaking on Twitter. Do you have the link? So Blankenship is moving on? I thought Blankenship didn't make it. Huh. The businessman, a conservative, Trump calls Blankenship after pushing for his loss in West Virginia. He wanted Blankenship to lose? Okay, with Blankenship loss, Republicans look November in... Okay, this is current. He did lose. Okay. Republicans look to November in 3 key Senate seats. And McCain is probably not going to make it, so they say that Senate seat will be open for grabs.
Anderson, if Don Blankenship is saying provocative things tomorrow, it will not be as a candidate for the United States Senate. CNN can now project he is going to run third in the Republican primary. You see the results right in here. Don Blankenship just shy of 21%. The State Attorney General Patrick Morrisey currently leading at 33%. Congressman Evan Jenkins at 30. We're not sure of the winner yet. Morrisey has been leading consistently throughout the night, but we're not ready to call the winner yet. But we do know, based on the math, based on our analysis, based on the outstanding vote, that Don Blankenship is going to run third, meaning...
Okay, Blankenship was known for his maverick statements, and he would have shaken up the Republican Party, but it does look like he's going to have a chance to run in West Virginia after all. Bummer for him. Okay, you've got the link. Israel rockets fired at Israel from Syria, according to Israel. CNN has the story.
We have breaking news coming into CNN. The Israeli military says Iranian forces on the Syrian side of the Golan Heights fired rockets at Israeli targets tonight. Let's go to our Pentagon correspondent, Barbara Starr. Barbara, what are you hearing?
Good evening, Wolf. This happened a short time ago. Israeli Defense Forces confirming that they logged 20 missiles from Iranian Quds forces fired into northern Israel in the Golan Heights. Go back a minute. Iranian Quds forces. That is critical here to what is happening. These are forces of the Iranian regime. They are the most militant forces of the Revolutionary Guard of Iran, which already is the most, shall we say, militant element of the Iranian forces. So you have a good deal of concern emerging here. 20 of their rockets fired into northern Israel. The Israeli defense system known as Iron Dome firing back. Israelis tonight warning they may take further action against Iran.
Okay, it could go ballistic, full bore. Yeah, we could always see World War III break out from any one perspective. Whether it's in Syria between the Israelis and Iran, and then brings the U.S. and Syria into the battle, and again, the Syria obviously against the U.S., Iran against the U.S., Israel comes in, and then Russia comes in to back up Syria and Iran, and then you see a world war, air war, take place. This is how things have been, heading for some time. With Donald Trump at the helm, anything's possible. It's so totally unpredictable right now.
Hi everybody, it is May 9th, 2018, and I hope everyone is doing well. I'm making a new dish today, actually. I'm making a dish that I never made before, and it's just a simple beef and bean sprout dish. So.
Okay, yeah. I like broccoli and beef better than beef and bean sprouts, but hey, I don't blame them. Yeah, I'm going to be making a stir fry with sardines and some sort of a pasta. I might even go with egg noodles. I'm not sure. Sardines stir fry, yeah, and some peppers and vegetables. I've tried cooking with sardines out of the oil when they put the oil in the can, and it actually works out pretty well. It flavors things really interesting. Anyway, we're still working on our fish theme, fish out of the can for our show tomorrow night. Yeah, I can't wait either. It's just super exciting. I just coming up ways of cooking in the apocalypse. We're trying to get people to be able to cook in the event of a disaster. If you haven't bought sardines, you better get them before they're all fished out of the ocean. So you better start buying them. Yeah, now is the time to buy. They will be lowering the supplies due to the Fukushima radiation and general degradation of our oceans and environment under the two-party system. You see, as long as you keep voting for the same morons that lead our country nowhere, we're going nowhere. So count on it. Fish food declines. Anchovies. You're thinking of anchovies, not sardines. I might get a chef hat, yeah. I prefer Mediterranean sardines, actually. On iVlogs picked up now that people are really upset with how Vaughn is working. Boy, Vaughn, you don't realize I have another show at iVlog, huh? Maybe you should tell your moneyed handlers in Russia that we've got other shows and venues to talk to people. Yeah, no, nobody ever told them that. All right. Well, the idea of a reckoning over the Trump situation with all the investigations going on has led us to some real interesting questions. As the king of debt, Trump borrowed to build his empire. Then he began spending hundreds of millions in cash. And as Mueller goes over his finances, he'll realize that Donald Trump didn't really have a solid form of income from 2006. In fact, he declared in his 2005 income tax return, which we did find out, he had over $1 billion loss. So how did a man who was $1 billion loser in 2005 get through the subprime debacle of 2008 and 2009 and come out with hundreds of million dollars in cash to invest anywhere in the world? Well, therein lies the story of Donald Trump and the oligarchs. Because back then, he was able to get out of debt with big cash donations from big moneyed interests who wanted control in America. No, Celebrity Apprentice didn't draw him much money. Not at all. He didn't even own the title of Celebrity Apprentice. Burnett owns that. It's not Trump. He couldn't even afford the Celebrity Apprentice title. He didn't make much money on it. So, in the 9 years before he ran for president, Donald Trump's company spent more than $400 million in cash on new properties, including 14 transactions paid for in full, without borrowing from banks during a buying binge that defied real estate industry practices and Trump's own history as the self-described king of debt. His vast outlay of cash, tracking through public records and totaling publicly here for the first time, provides a new window into the president's private company, which discloses few details about its finances. It shows that Trump had access to far more cash than previously known, despite his string of commercial bankruptcies and the Great Recession hammering of the real estate industry. So why did the king of debt, as he called himself in interviews, turn away from this strategy, defying the real estate wisdom that it's unwise to risk so much of one's own money in a few projects? And how did Trump, who had money tied up in golf courses and buildings, raise enough liquid assets to go on the cash buying spree? Well, Eric Trump might have led on to what this was when he reportedly bragged about the $100 million that he was getting access to from Russian money. His dad had $100 million in Russian money access at any time. So that's a seriously important story Vanity Fair put out, talking about, just one of the many tendrils of financing sources that he had, and it does connect to Russia. All of this is a preponderance of evidence that is going to be hashed over by Mueller and looked at with a microscope, and hopefully they'll be able to pin everything down onto Trump and his cronies who made all of this possible. So today we found out that Dallas is going to be the first city in the country to fly Uber cars. These new cars that are going to be portable taxis. Pretty cool.
Well, Dallas is flying into the future, becoming the first city to test Uber's flying taxis. And today, some of the ambitious plans were put on display The hope is to bring these flying rides to Dallas in the next 5 years. Fox Sports' James Rose live in downtown Dallas with the details on how it's going to fly. James.
Well, Heather, Uber calls it the future of urban air transportation, and many of the designs and ideas that were unveiled at the summit in Los Angeles today will likely wind up here in 2023, just 5 years. The goal is to get over the gridlock like you see back here, turning a long commute into mere minutes. This animation shows the ambitious vision for bringing flying shuttle service to Dallas in just 5 years. An urban airport called the Skyport, where passengers would board Uber's electronic VTOLs, vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. The goal by 2023 is to make Dallas among the first cities in the world to take Uber passengers from the curb to the cockpit and back.
It's more for long distances, and I think as much as it's the innovation is efficient, but it's also cool, and I think that's what people will look at.
Dallas Mayor Mike Rollins says flying over traffic will not be the silver bullet to beat gridlock, but it's a step in the right direction.
All right, well, yeah, I'm not going to turn back technology. We're going to open up any possibilities that could come our way. All right, so as promised, we have the wig day. I failed to wear the wig the whole show, but hey, monkey time. I am trying to squeeze this wig out a little bit because it came to me tight, and I want it to be a little loose. And I just have to wear it once a week just to stretch it out a little bit. So bear with me while I put this on. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Okay, hang on. Great, yeah. Full-on execution. All right, the wig is on. We're closing in on the final hour. Looks like Larry from Chips. Yeah, it's exactly what Larry from Chips looked like. The early days of Larry with Chip from Chips, yeah. Slightly different pose, but yeah, similar. How you looking for 2020? We're not planning on 2020. I'm working on the 2088 election. Yeah, most of you will be dead by the time I reach the presidency. I know. It's kind of sad, but I might as well ban you now. Okay. Yeah, we're focusing on 2088. This whole election period is completely controlled. We have to wait at least another 88, 90 years for this to change. We're hoping that my CGI system will be functional by 2088, and I will no longer be human at that point. You're number one? Well, I might as well ban you now. I like it here. You guys are fun. I like iBlog. I just don't like that guy. I'm trying to avoid politics too. I'm focusing, this show is going to be more about fun times, music, hanging out with friends. I am always number one. Well, Barack Obama had the help of the New World Order. I'm being challenged by the New World Order, and they're trying to stop me at every turn. Slightly different than Obama running for president. Yeah, I'm up against Goliath, whereas he was given a royal dildo with lots of lubrication from Goliath, and he enjoyed it. Goodbye. Well, I just banned over there. I didn't ban you here. Dave, converting classic cars to electric. This has a range of 50 miles, but with additional batteries, it can be up to 250 miles. Wow, that's cool. Retro electric vehicles. Introducing the Morris Minor.
Welcome to the Silent D Motor Show. I'm your host, Silent D.
In this episode, we're gonna take a drive around London in this very unique Morris Minor. But
I saw one of those at my car show locally. They were originally electric, you know. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I don't think you should eat chicken or beef, paper or plastic. I think you should stop buying things and live on the air, become a breatharian. Do you know that most air breaths that you take have enough bacteria in the air breath to survive in sub-zero temperatures? Have you noticed that eating more... I feel like Andy Rooney. Have you ever noticed that when you eat, you gain weight? Have you ever noticed that every time you open your mouth and stuff food in it, you gain weight? You don't even know who Andy Rooney is. He's been dead so long. All right. Well, this is more like Comedy Rex. This is not politics or world events. We're trying to digest them with comedy. The show is about politics, but you're not talking about politics, 717. You haven't asked me one political question. And I can't respond to a bunch of Nimrod masturbators who just want to talk about sex. So if you can't come up with a genuine question about politics, how the heck do you think I can help you? My God. What is wrong with you? Many of you are enamored by Trump and his new meeting with Kim Jong-un, but Kim Jong-un is not offering nuclear arms reduction at all. Instead, it could be a major poop. A major poop at the... exactly. This could be the big North Korean meeting. Oh, I don't understand why I thought you were going to get rid of nuclear weapons, Kim Jong-un. I'm feeling very disrespectful here. David, your Democrats haven't changed in over 50 years. You're right. He is very attracted to his daughter, Ivanka. If she wasn't his daughter, he'd be dating her. And now, you know the rest of the story. Well, that's not coming up very fast. It's another attack on Democrats. You know, we've had a lot of those here tonight. The Democrats are just as stupid and retarded as the Republicans, so... yeah, that's not popping. Not gonna do it. Get off your Walmart's internet. Works fine for me. Well, I don't know. I don't get no good internet here. Oh, now it's popping. Okay, thank you. Wow, oh gross, Dave. Did you know that the Democrats... oh, there he is. Mr. Chicken. What happened to Fire and Fury? Now he's going to go kiss Kim Jong-un's ass? Oh, Kim, you're here to save the day. I'm hoping to win over the American people by shaking your hand. Did you know Democrats refused to attend the inauguration of Abraham Lincoln because he had this radical idea of ending slavery? Yeah, boy, they have, you know, the Democrats pretend like they're so caring about black people, but yeah, let's not forget those Southern Democrats like Wallace, who wouldn't even let a black woman get into college. But let's not also forget that Trump is running like a half-witted administration with no clear vision as to how to solve the world's problems other than kissing Kim Jong-un's ring finger. First he goes from fire and awe to shaking hands with a mass murderer. Oh, I'd love to shake your hand. Is this the hand you used to kill your uncle? Or is this the hand you used to kill your girlfriend and all her friends? You know, he had a firing squad kill his own girlfriend. Kim Jong-un did. Along with 16 of her fellow artists that were musicians, very well loved in his country. And she was very well loved, and the people had to go through a lot just to deal with that. So why would Trump go over there and shake his hand? Huh. And what is he offering anyway? I think you're being misled. Kim Jong-un is leading this operation. Whoa. Danger, Will Robinson. Whoa. Woo. They haven't changed. They treat illegals the same as slaves. That was an awesome tackle, but it was CGI. So this is what it's coming down to. The Trump show has turned into a Nazi formula, treating Muslims the way Nazis treated Jews, embracing corporations like Hitler did, and giving them special powers over the people. Oh yeah, this is Hitler 2.0. Donald Trump. Crazy. And a good reason why I should not talk about this incessantly. So, Iran is forcing launched missiles at Golan. They've launched missiles at the Golan region, and Syria says intercepted rockets launched by Israel. So, both are intercepting rockets launched by each other in a volley back and forth in what appears to be the beginnings of World War III. All under the auspices of Donald Trump's inability to find any negotiated peace plan in the Middle East. Well, that's the point. Trump is in favor of gun control now. You didn't know? Yeah. He said, first we take their guns and then we do the due process later. You didn't get that memo? Why do you think Trump ordered Scott Israel to have that false flag at Parkland? So that we'd all be worried about guns again. Oh yeah, he's trying to revive it. That's why he met an hour and 24 minutes with the people who allegedly were so butthurt about guns during that time period. The poor victims of the students that had nothing to do with what happened there. Trump is in favor of gun control. That's why he's playing you people on the right. He plays the gun control lobby, NRA. He totally plays you guys like a fiddle. The truth about North Korea. The real reason why Kim Jong-un is meeting with Donald Trump is, yes, we are getting a McDonald's. Yes, he's been wanting one for years. A beautiful McDonald's store in Pyongyang. He talked about it with his father. Father, Mr. Kim Jong-il, please get me a McDonald's so I can become even fatter. Trump hasn't worked a day in his life. He got all his money from his dad, then he blew it. And then he borrowed money from Russian oligarchs and then blew that. Trump is exactly what you don't want to aspire to be in life. He didn't earn it. He took it. Jeez, I got to educate you people on everything. Hey, this is the end of our show. It's been great talking to everybody. Chat is a wonderful experience, and I don't blame you for coming back tomorrow night for our Technology Thursday show, starting with my sardine stir fry at 5 o'clock.
Gonna make you feel good, gonna make you feel good, gonna make you mine. Gonna make you feel good, gonna make you feel good, gonna make you mine.
We deserve a better government, one that addresses the real concerns of its people. Now, it seems, so much news is fake, twisting what America stands for. Let's protect our gun rights against media manipulation. Let's get back to what really matters. Secure, safe schools, fencing, and security for our youth, and a clean environment for everyone. Join us nightly as we discuss America's most important concerns at America's Third Party.